Hey everybody, welcome to episode 9 of the podcast. My guest today is Chad Paulson. He is one half of the duo that started Dog Island Breweries in Slave Lake, Alberta, and it has just taken off, and you can tell that they got something special there in the way the community's got behind him. Not sure if Chad's the brains or the bronze of the operation. All I know is that he's definitely not the looks, but we had a really good conversation today. I really enjoyed it, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it too. We speak about that dynamic of going into business in a small town, feeling doing things the right way with the right kind of people to get the town behind you, and just all you can achieve when you have that kind of groundswell of support. And I just think it's really beautiful. Chad was really nice and open and went through the ups and the downs of the process and really allowed us to give a really good insight, I think, into not only brewing, but also just chasing a dream and being an entrepreneur. And I think that's going to go far and maybe hopefully shine a light on maybe a few areas that people would like to a little more knowledge on if they do have a goal that they'd like to achieve. It kind of gives a couple first really good steps to take towards that goal. So yeah, no, I had so much fun discussing that with Chad, and please stop by their tasting room in Slave Lake, or it's starting to spread around Alberta. You can get your hands on it. Lots of distributors around Edmonton now, and it's getting farther and farther. So anywhere you can see it, if you see Dog Island, please pick it up. Like I said, go to the tasting room, tell them you heard about it on the podcast, or just that's what reminded you. I'm sure if you're in Slave Lake, you already know about it because they're pretty much a staple of the community already. So yeah, no, just drop by. If you did enjoy this podcast, let them know that, because the support goes a long way. They always have new beers coming on tap. We talk about the process of finding new ones, but it seems to be just hit after hit. They have a pretty high bar that they hold themselves to. So whatever you go there and try, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And the atmosphere they've been able to create is just incredible. And they have the best staff, and just they really put attention to every little detail, and it shows start to finish. So yeah, like I say, enjoy this podcast. And if you have anything to contribute, anything you could give me a hand with, maybe if anybody knows how to run iMovie and maybe add a visual component to this, reach out, help me out. I am looking to learn as much as I can, and any expertise that's willing to be lent is more than appreciated. So you can send that to VonDubCast@gmail.com, and yeah, enjoy the show. All right, welcome everybody. My guest today is Chad Paulson, one half of Dog Island Brewery, a local brewery that just started up a couple years ago in Slave Lake, Alberta, and it's really taken off. The entire town has been taken by storm. Nobody can get enough of it. Back when I lived in Slave for a while there, I could only get my hands on it every once in a while. It seemed like as soon as they brewed a batch, it was gone the next day. And yeah, it's been quite the journey for me to watch. So yeah, welcome Chad.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Nick. Yeah, you're right about that. It's been a wild ride, man. I never thought I'd be doing this, truthfully.
So when was the first time you ever had any experience with brewing anything? Was it at home, or where did you first get the bug?
It was actually when I hired on with Grizzly Electric.
Right.
I went from 7 years, like my apprenticeship at another company, and then I switched over to another local one in Slave, and I met Ben, the partner, the other half there to the brewery.
Right.
And it wasn't until like a year in when he actually was the one that was like, man, we should brew beer. And honestly, I was like, well, sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
let's try it out. So kind of snowballed from there. We looked into it. We ended up buying like this super shitty wine kit off this guy. I don't even know if it was Kijiji back then. Anyways, we bought it off him and then started looking into just doing little brews, and we were using like extracts and just kind of like the kits you buy. But yeah, that was kind of where we got started, just on that point of it.
Right. And then at what point did you ever, take it from just doing it for yourselves and getting other people? When did you have the idea to maybe take it a little further? Was it something that just kind of came on, or who had that idea?
I think it was the challenge of brewing that kind of intrigued Ben and I. You start with something so simple like a kit. Right. You add water and freaking yeast and let it do its thing. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty simple. What else? What other aspects are there with all grain, for example? Mm-hmm. So we started looking into that and ended up getting an all grain system. And that was kind of when we really looked at it and we're like, wow, this is pretty neat. Like how many different
Mhm.
kinds you can make, how many different, just the world's your oyster, man. Like you go
Yeah.
and try something somewhere and be like, fuck, I want to make that beer like he has. What was that? Like go from a ale to a
Mhm.
lager to, right? You've tried tons of beers too.
Yeah. That's awesome. And one thing I was always curious about, who came up with that name? Because it's such a good name and such, I guess, just to explain to people that maybe not from Slave Lake, Dog Island is an island right off the coast of Slave Lake, and has a lot of history. I think it was named Dog Island. I was always told growing up that is where all the sled dogs would be kept. They bring them there in the winter, and then when the ice melts, they'd be there all summer, and then the winter they go get them again. I don't know if that's actually true or not. But who
We've
came up
heard the
with
same thing. We tell that same
that?
story. I hope
Yeah,
it's true, else we sound like
yeah,
dummies. Like honestly,
yeah, me too.
some old people are gonna be like, "Wow, these guys are fucking idiots."
Yeah,
Like they don't
they have
know
no
anything.
idea what they're talking
No
about.
one knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
was that you? Was that you or Ben that came up with that name?
it was actually both of us. It was
Yeah.
like a collective. A lot of people ask us that, like, how did you guys come up with the name? Because the name's so hard to make, and we're like, your spitball names, and
Yeah.
it's someone just said Dog Island. We're like, man, that just sounds so
Mm.
cool. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. And then we just kept it. Actually, the funny thing was when we were just homebrewing upstairs in the office or in the shop there, we were calling ourselves Dog Island Brewing Society because
Oh yeah.
it was literally just like a group of freaking guys and
Yeah.
like oil field workers that would come there and drink, and we had this like tip jar in the middle that was like, hey, if you guys feel like the beer is good enough to
Mhm.
tip, right? So we yeah, Dog Island just kind of stuck, and
Yeah.
it was a good name. Now everyone's kind of asked us that too, like what does it
Mhm.
mean? And then we tell them the history, right? The story we've
Yeah.
all heard.
Yeah. So then, how long into that process were you guys still working your full time jobs and doing it on the side? And when did you guys decide to make that switch? And was it something that what all went into that decision? Was it just kind of the right time, or did you have to take a big leap and it was kind of a risk, or was it already pretty established at that point?
It was definitely the right time. At that point, Ben and I, and even at that time, Jordan was the other instrument guy there too, Jordan Reese.
Right.
We were all just kind of just upstairs and we played PS4 and work. It
Yeah.
was just a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until we got slow and Jordan ended up quitting, and it was just me and Ben that we kind of really looked and we're like, what other things can we do? The beer seems to be good. We've had people telling us it's good.
Yeah.
Let's look at doing like starting up the brewery. So Ben and I actually went out and created Dog Island Brewing Inc. and
Yeah.
never really looked back from there. But it definitely was a force from the oil field, honestly.
Yeah.
We did it 5 years, I would say, before we even kind of took the plunge. And at
Mhm.
that point, when we were looking at getting registered in Alberta, I think we would have been like nine in Alberta. Um,
Right.
because the rules were so strict back in the day, you had to create so much product to actually be considered a
Okay.
brewery. And then the big push came kind of when NDP came in, also Toolshed Brewing in Calgary.
Right.
Their founder was the big push too that really pressured the government into changing these laws, more like BC's too. They're so
Mhm.
relaxed. Um, and that's kind of where it got busy again. We went back to work, and then it really crashed. And then
Yeah.
like, well, okay, now it's easier to become a brewery. The laws are relaxed.
Mhm.
Let's actually register ourselves. And we have established 2015 on our cans, but
Mhm.
we could have been earlier. And honestly, we didn't open till like October of 2016. So
Right.
yeah, it was a wild ride. It's Ben and I. I'm glad we did it. Honestly,
Yeah, no, I
it's
think
been
I think
crazy.
everyone in Slave Lake is glad too because it's just taken off. It seems like every time you guys post pictures, your tasting room is full and everyone's having a good time. And I've had the pleasure to taste it. It's awesome beer. So I guess another question I had is just was all the expertise you got just looking stuff up online, or was there any kind of mentors that you guys from other breweries that kind of took you guys under your wing and helped you out, or was it just kind of on your own?
It was definitely all. It was us. Trial and error, man. like I said, it was 5 years of just like making random beers. We made some shit beers, like some absolute trash before
Right.
we kind of nailed down. I think our first good recipe would have been like Dibsbury, but even at that time, it was like 7%. We kind of dialed it back when we opened up.
Right.
But growing up too, going to school, I know Ben's mentor would have been like I can't remember the guy's name, Gunther, I think was his name.
Oh,
He was like the main man behind Brewster's. So
Oh, okay.
like Ben and I both, when we went to Nate,
Mhm.
obviously Brewster's was kind of the cool place to go. It was one of the first brew house pub kind of areas where you got to see everything. So even Ben says to this day, whenever he's seen Gunther, like he's like, I'm gonna make a better raspberry than you, and Dibsbury came out. But there was a lot of guys too when we got going. We went to Apex, formerly Bench Creek, now Apex. Those guys were super cool. Took us through their brewery and kind of explained the big system, the big setup. So a lot of it, was just when we were kind of taking the plunge, guys like Apex and looking up the Gunther, all that kind of stuff, what really helped us out. But all in all, man, it was just kind of our drive to really get it going, always wanting to do something different, trying new things. And I would like whenever someone calls us and says, I want to start a brewery, we just kind of chuckle because it's like, man, if you think you're just going to fire it up and be good, like everyone says, you have to make at least a good beer, because once you give someone a crappy beer, the likelihood of them coming back is kind of hard. You really have to persuade them. Really. Yeah, exactly. So anything with a product, right? So
especially now when there's so many good beers out there, nobody's going to waste their time on a half decent one, right? You got to have a pretty solid product these days to really come out. And I think that was so special about you guys came out and you had some good beers, but then you kept the consistency up with all your new blends. It was kind of banger after banger, and that was kind of really exciting being in Slave Lake at that time. Just every time a new brew would come out from you guys, everyone's just buzzing about it all over town to get down there. And I guess something that just occurred to me: do you guys have lots of people traveling to come try your beer? Do you guys see a lot of people in Tasting Room coming out from all around Alberta and maybe even further now?
I think so, yeah. There's lots of people that do come just for the brewery, but there are a lot of people that come. Obviously, Slave Lake, the travel destination in summer for fishing and camping and all that stuff. So I even worked the tap room on Saturday. I haven't worked it in a while, and there was a lot of people that came through that were just. We're down the road camping and it's kind of a crappy day out, so we'll bike over or walk over to the brewery and crush some pints during the afternoon. So
nice having that campground that close too.
It is, yeah.
That is awesome. I didn't even think about that till just now.
Yeah.
So then kind of in that vein of having the tap room, having people running that, how was that process for you guys of taking something that's so near and dear to your hearts of something like this and trying to bring it into a business, and kind of what kind of business hurdles and entrepreneurship, hiring, finding the right staff? How was that process from taking it from just a passion project of you and Ben and maybe a couple of your buddies into actually, hiring employees and making, getting incorporated and trying to make money with it? How was that process?
Oh man, that is, that's why I say it's a wild ride. Like going from when we opened up, we were small, man. People would come in and be like, okay, this is it. Like, you have this, thank God for Ben's dad, man. Cause like we have this shop, we weren't that busy. It was a brand new shop. We had the middle bay, and Gil caught wind of us actually looking for a space in town. And he was like, no, you guys are not getting into a lease. Like, I think he was pretty skeptical, honestly, when he first heard we were brewing. So he's like, why don't you guys take the middle bay and do that? And at that time, we're like, okay, sweet. It was nice bay, and we didn't have any capital. Like, we're like, fuck, man, we've been home brewing for how long? Like, we got a tip jar full of $100 maybe. So Ben, obviously, he put in a lot. I put in money too, and we were able to reach out to one of my like longtime friends back in the day. Like, I haven't talked to him forever. And I ran into his parents randomly at the airport, and they were going to Camel River. And I said, fuck, what's Derek doing nowadays? And, oh, he's a commercial lender for ATB in Edmonton. I'm like, no way, crazy. They're like, hit him up. I will when I get back from my holiday. So, I ended up talking. I'm like, Derek, hey, how you been? So we hit it off, obviously, because it's like, man, we were besties, just kind of lost touch with life, right?
Right.
So yeah, he ended up getting us a $50,000 loan. And with that, we were able to build the walls,
Right.
kind of lay out the floor plan. We also had that cooler. We have like a walk-in cooler at the brewery. Yeah, we actually got that from Gil. So the Panago in town back in the day,
Right.
it was good, but the wife and the husband obviously were kind of dogging on each other. So she caught wind and actually ran a truck into the building, tried to burn it down. So,
Classic Slave Lake.
So yeah, classic Slave Lake. So at the time, it was getting switched over to the pet store, and we were doing electrical in there. And Gil ended up making a deal for that cooler. So when we needed a cooler, Ben was like, Gil, what are you doing that stand up? He's like, well, you guys need to take it, kind of thing. So it was kind of nice when we have pictures on our Instagram of like the first framing and everything. And yeah, the 50 grand allowed us to get kind of running. We had our little 50-gallon system with 4 tanks.
Right.
And it was just like a bare bones shop with the brewery in the back and nice and clean. And I think at that time we had 6 beers we opened up with. And like to this day, most of them are still being produced, but one's not anymore, like the Pit's Wit. Other than that, we went from that to a big system, but it was 8 months, I think. The bank basically told us that you guys can't get the big system yet. Like, we need to see traction. So we opened up that October 2016, and it was like the hour wait for growler fills. It was we had the tiniest area. Like, it fit maybe 12 people in it. But everyone, I don't know, like, I was actually surprised because it's a Bud Light town. Like, come on. We all know it.
Yeah,
it's a Bud Light town. Definitely. So there was a lot of people that came that were interested, man. Like, they were, what are these guys doing? Like, what are they making? So idiots. From there, we had a pretty good following of people that came consistently over and over. And we were like plugging our beer out at the Wolves or Winterhawks games back in the day. And it was always like, what kegs can we get? And Dibs was never available. It was always the shittier beers that got it, because we'd run out right away, and then you'd have to wait 2 weeks to get another batch of Dibs. But yeah, it was crazy. Ben and I and Cody Thacker, he helped us out lots getting the brewery running to what it is today. He's kind of our unsung hero too. So, for capital and that, like I said, it was that initial 50 that kind of got us fired up, and then after that, we had to wait to secure the big loan.
So then the big system you're alluding to for that. So now, what kind of volumes does that allow you to do with that big system? I'm assuming you have that now, and you're running the I've seen pictures of that. Yeah.
So after that 8 months, the bank basically said, Kate, your numbers are actually looking really good. So you guys can secure I think the small business loan, you're allowed to get up to $350,000. So we were able to get that and pitch in some more money and actually buy our Alpha system from Lincoln, Nebraska there. Shout out to those guys. They're deadly, wicked guys. So awesome. They were really nice to deal with. We were looking at so many different options in Victoria to Toronto to East Coast. And they really were like,
that's such a big decision for
it. Was huge. It was huge. You're spending $500,000 on a system. Oh my God, man. It's like you're putting your house and shit on, like your life really on the line, right? So
it's your livelihood.
We definitely had some long nights to think about it and drink on it. And it was good. It was good though. Like, Alpha made it easy because their system being all automated and the shipping, they were basically shipped the system to us free. It was just a deal we couldn't pass up. So we ended up getting it. We got it about a year. It was about a year after we actually opened up. We started kind of seeing the bits and pieces of the brew house, and then the tanks kind of followed a couple of months after, because they actually came from China. So other than that, it Yeah.
And how much how much volume can
Yeah,
that day
sorry.
alpha system? How much volume can that baby kick out now?
So that one does 17 hectoliters, so 1,700 liters. But
Okay.
we can do like 2 batches to fill a tank. So the tanks are actually double capacity. So
Right.
it's quite nice. We have 4 tanks. They're all uni tanks, and that just means they can be pressured up and used as kind of a bright tank. And if for the people
Right.
that don't know what a bright tank is, it's more or less just to like clean up your beer, brighten it up, drop out
Right.
some of the crap. So we
Okay.
we ended up getting the 4 fermenters and the 1 bright, and we've been brewing steady on it. A lot of
Yeah.
people ask us if we're full capacity. Since COVID, we have been now. So we've been consistently doing like double batches of Saints and
Nice.
Dibs and like Foggy, all that other stuff. So, yeah.
So at this point, how many different beers have you guys brewed or tried? I mean, I'm sure not all of them saw the light of day and maybe didn't turn out how you wanted, but of beers that have made it to a point where you'd be happy serving it to someone, how many do you think you guys have done now?
Definitely 16.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Really?
we've had 16 on tap.
Wow.
Like last summer, I think we had 16 on tap, and we have like 10 beers that are like consistently brewed and sold and via can or even just the tap room they sell out. There's some other ones that just kind of, they're more specialty beers. They're not for everyone. They're for that person that's really looking for something different, because we still get it now too with our regulars. Like, what's new? It's like, holy fuck, man, I'm tired of making new shit. Like, let me just make some normal stuff for now. But you have to make new beers. You have to, because you have to keep everyone interested and coming back, and it kind of sets you apart too, because you're like, some of these guys just pound some wicked beers and sours and all that stuff. And I mean, if you can brew a good one, it kind of shows your range too as a brewery or a brewer.
So then if you wanted to make a new beer, do you decide kind of the taste you're going for beforehand and try and make it to that? Or you kind of experiment and then once you taste it, you kind of see what hints and try again? Or do you get an idea and, make a couple batches, couple cracks to try and get it just right? Or how does that work? If you wanted to make a new beer, what would be the first steps?
First step would be, figuring out, let's go for like an IPA, for example.
Right.
Okay. How strong do you want it? Do you want it like a double? Do you want it 8%, or do you want it drinkable like 5 and 6? Do you want it bitter? Do you want it more hazy and juicy? And that's kind of the first step. Then obviously there's so many varieties of hops. There's so many varieties of grains. The yeast creates like different things. So definitely we'll kind of look into different options. What we've had good luck with, good success with other brews, and we'll all kind of incorporate it into a recipe. We do have programs that kind of guideline us through. We can enter in hops at different boils, and they'll spit out the IBU, which is International Bitterness Units. So we can kind of follow those guidelines to what we want. Other than that, though, once that's kind of done, it's go time, it's brew time, and you brew it, and it takes around 5 to 8 hours to kind of brew your beer, but it takes about two weeks to ferment, and then we usually wait a couple days to a week to actually condition and keg or can. But we'll try it out, and if it's good, then obviously throw it on the tap room. If there's a lot of attraction to it from the customers, then we'll brew it again and make sure we can make it consistent, because that's the hardest thing, right? Making a beer over and over, and consistency and quality. So if it doesn't go over well, then we kind of take a step back and say, okay, what were the complaints? It's too dry, it's too bitter, it's too whatever, right? So that's kind of what we do. We use the tap room kind of as our guinea pig a lot with us. We have like 4 rotating taps, and that's usually the stuff that we're trying out. And some beers are top notch, and some are just kind of mediocre. They just kind of fizzle out, and we'll tweak the recipe on a later date, kind of thing.
Yeah. So then repeatability, what about for like beers that you guys have been brewing for a while, like the dibs and stuff? How is repeatability still tough for those, or those ones you kind of have it down to a science at this point, or is it still kind of a struggle?
We have it down to a science. There'll be
Yeah.
little
Mhm.
differences, not much though. Like just like this last batch of Dibsbury, for example, was like we added some more raspberries, and everyone's just like raging about it, like fuck,
Yeah.
it's more red, it's so good. Like, and so we're like, well, damn, we better just keep it up then, because it seems like people are super amped about this new one. So um,
25% more hops.
hops are
That's
kind
cool.
of tough because you're really trusting that your suppliers of hops
Oh, really?
are keeping up the quality.
Oh,
You're getting the best crop, because even that, like there's some people that say like hops from different areas have different tastes at different if they
mhm.
harvested at different times.
Right.
So that's kind of different. I know people have said with Saints sometimes that, oh, it's a little more bitter,
Mhm.
stuff like that. And it's not like we're not following the recipe. We've had it down as we brewed that
Yeah.
probably the most out of anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, like there's just differences that we kind of can't control.
Right.
It's tough, and you want to keep it the same because, like
Mhm.
Saints, for example, is one of our biggest beers, and you'd hate for someone that's just like you get home from work from a shit day or week, and you're like,
Mhm.
I can't wait to crack this Saints open, and it
Yeah.
just tastes not like, you
Not
know
what
what I
you
mean,
want.
like not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Saints. It's like, man, this
100%.
pisses me off. I had a fucking
Yeah. No
shitty night,
shit. Yeah.
right?
I
Yeah,
got you. So
yeah.
then, if the hops and the ingredients can change that much, do you guys ever experiment with ordering from different places to try it out and just see different brands of hops or what other
100%. Yeah,
ingredients?
yeah, we have. Yeah, we kind of nailed down a contract now, with one of the biggest ones, Yakima
Okay,
Chief. Um,
right,
they're pretty well known for quality and
right,
consistent. And when you do a contract, you're committing to so much per
yeah,
year. So you save a lot of money on that. But everything
mhm,
else is what they call spot hops. Um, Spot hops is where you call a lot of the hops are created or made in like lower BC, higher up
okay,
Washington area.
right,
It's just the best climate for them.
mhm,
They call alpha acid, so you get the best alpha acid out of your hops, and that's how we record or keep track of how much bitterness is going into our beers. So,
right,
anyways, usually a lot of the stuff comes from there, but a lot of the farmers, top farmers in BC, they'll kind of have their own varieties,
right,
a lot of the common ones. So we like to kind of try them out too and see. And
mhm,
we've kind of, for spot hops, we've tried probably 5 or 6 different places, and we've had pretty good luck with most of them. I think. I don't
yeah.
know. I haven't really had any bad ones.
Well, that's good. One other thing I heard that is a big impact on different beers and stuff is water and the quantities of dissolved minerals in the water. Do you guys? I would assume you only have one water source being enslaved, and you probably use the same water all the time. But is that something you guys ever thought about? Trying to truck in water to see if it changes the difference, or you make a special source of water, or is it just kind of you take what you can get, or is that not a big deal on beer? The water,
Water is huge. It's your main ingredient. Um,
right?
so we do keep track of it. We actually have the water profile from town get sent
Oh,
to
okay,
us whenever they do their testing. I think they only test twice a year, so
right.
obviously in between that we're kind of we don't really know, but we hope
Mm,
it's the same. So yeah, so we treat the water for different styles of beers. We're
mhm,
just adding like different stuff to create a better mouth feel and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
um, we kind of laugh because we're just kind of reminiscing about like if we were to move somewhere and trying to brew these beers, and it's just
Mhm.
like our water is so good in Slave Lake, we're kind of
Yeah,
spoiled here, right? So
yeah.
you go and make this beer at a different place, and man, is it
Won't be
just
the
going to be
same.
trash? Like, are we going to be
Yeah.
hauling Slave Lake water to our new location, kind of thing, right?
Dog Island water hauling.
But yeah, start a new
Yeah,
company, a little
there
side
you go.
biz.
Yeah.
But yeah, water is very important. We're lucky, like I said, to have it, but I
Mhm.
think it's kind of wherever you're from too, right? You're used to that water,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
um, maybe someone from Calgary trying a beer versus say we brewed it here versus brewed in Calgary. I don't know. Would it be would they like the Calgary one more because they're used to that water? I don't know.
Well, they do say that a lot with the cooking and stuff, and ingredients that go along and from that local area. If you're cooking with food and animals from that local area, that's always a big part of culinary arts of doing that. So I imagine it'd probably be more of the same with water in that context. I don't know, once it goes through the process of fermentation, becoming beer, how much of that would carry through. But clearly, if it has that much impact on taste, I bet you it would. I bet you people have that.
I think so
water.
too. Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think that's kind of what we're like. I guess you go there, it might be a little different, but it might be more appealing for the local right. People, right? So,
which is so funny, just how much Dog Island encapsulates the spirit of Slave Lake, and just two guys that were working the oil field that started it right there. That's a huge in that's gonna put you into the hearts and minds of pretty much everyone in Slave Lake and most of northern Alberta. And then all these different things, getting at the hockey games. I just love, and then your branding, what you guys have done. I guess that's on you guys. Just the logos, the hats, the shirts that you guys make. Everything from top to bottom is just so much. Really nice, really high end, but still with that feel of Slave Lake, and you never lose it. And I always just thought that was just from my side. I'm always on the business side. That's my area of expertise, if you can even say that. But I always was really blown away by how you guys managed to do that. And was that a conscious thought that you guys were trying to do, or is it just you're picking the nicest stuff and trying to make cool stuff, or was that kind of part of what you wanted to do there? Oh, I lost you on the video.
Oh, really? Weird. Yeah, I can still hear you though. You hear me?
Oh, never mind. I got you. I just popped in. There you go. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, definitely when we got started, it was always about quality, the image. Right. We were lucky enough to have Corey Courts. Shout out to his company, Art of Corey, there. So he's a local boy from Slave Lake. I always kind of grew up with him, played hockey and all that kind of stuff. But when we really kind of started going, our main thought was local. So that was the first thing to like, okay, let's get Corey, he's a local boy, to start designing everything. And, from the first logo, or a Dog Island logo that we selected, because he had like 4 different renditions of it, and we ended up picking the one you see now. That's kind of where we wanted to keep it black and white, just clean.
Yeah.
We weren't sure about colors. We weren't sure even what theme to have in the tap room.
That tap room is that was going to be my next thing I transition to. That tap room is absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We did. It was us. It was just Ben and I. Ben and I work well together. We just kind of feed off each other. We can easily tell each other when we're just being fucking dumb, and that's a shitty idea. And whatever, it's business. You don't get too worked up about it. So
yeah, I would have guessed I'm so beautiful would have come out of you two ugly fuckers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're charmers. Yeah. No, we when we started, and even from the branding of Dog Island with the logo and the trees and lake, like people were really drawn to it. And just little things, like little things. That was always kind of with us. It's always these little fine details that people, when they see them, they're like, oh, that's cool. That's really neat. Even just from a growler designs to the can designs. And we've always just kind of had an idea what we wanted. Corey, we'll give him the worst pencil sketches of what we want to see the can look like. And man, he's talented. Like, he brings that shit to life. And it's kind of funny when you see the evolution of our first 6 cans to like how they are now. When we went from the ivory bar to kind of losing it and just doing the normal Dog Island wording and everything on it. Yeah.
So all your labels and stuff, is Corey still helping you?
Corey's always doing it. Yeah, he's busy, so we kind of got to be patient with him now. He's got doing his own thing, and I know he was working in camp for a while, but he took a job in the city now, so he's home every night and super excited about it. But he's still doing designs for people, but I think he kind of wants to focus on some other stuff. So I think he's honestly just finishing up all the loose ends, and then he'll always do our stuff, our labels, new beers and that, but just now we need to be a little more patient with him because he's got his life to live too. But I think it'd be hard to get away from him, honestly. I'd kind of be sad about it because you go from the beginning of our Dog Island logo to the kind of the university DIB we put on our hats. We kind of just thought that was kind of a neat logo. It's some people kind of think, well, no one knows it's Dog Island. It's like, whatever. People will know eventually. And
People who know as well.
exactly. And they're nice. They're nice hat. They just kind of look like a, like you said, university hat. Get the puff embroidery on, kind of classic little touch. And it's clothes. You can go crazy with apparel and hats. And man, we've already evolved from east side, like the Flex Fit to Puka. Puka's a big brand that do some crazy funky custom hats and shit. But we've always been we've always tried to been quality and nice stuff and stuff people can't get. Exactly.
That attention to detail really shines through, and I got to see that from the start to finish, and I think that's what goes so far, especially in that tap room with you guys. Just every little piece of that room is attention to detail, like you said, and it just creates that experience when you walk in. You can't put your finger on immediately what that is, but I think that's that heart and soul. But I think that's kind of the evolution of what this business kind of started from. You guys were so passionate about it and kind of grew the business just out of passion alone. And then you get to see that in every aspect. It's not just in the taste of the beer and that, it's in the look of the tap room, it's in the look of all the labels and all that. And I just love that about Dog Island. I think that's what kind of is making it so popular and why it's blowing up so nicely. One question I had is, as you're doing it, now that you got these big brewers, this big alpha system, do you have to make like a full batch, or if you want to experiment, are you doing it on a smaller scale, or do you have to risk a whole big batch? And is that pretty costly if you fuck it up, or if you have a couple runs of tries that don't go too well? Is that a big hit, or is it you can kind of just do some smaller ones?
We usually do our test batching on that little system, the 50 gallon.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, we'll do the tests on there, and then we'll run it through the tap room. If we feel it's good enough to can, then the next process is label design. Once the label design is completed, then we'll brew it, and then we'll order labels, because usually it's like a 2-week period anyways. So once we're brewed, the labels come in, blah, blah, blah. So we've had big batches fuck up. And it is costly. It sucks. It sucks. But
if you part of the process.
Exactly. And you don't want to send out crap. So
no.
We've had little batches where we've ran like a 50 through the tap room, and it's slow, and we're just kind of like, whatever. And we honestly just, if a friend wants it, have at her.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, buy us lunch and here's a 50 there keg. Yeah. It is hard to scale up from the 50 liter to the 17 hex system. We have a pretty good idea of what to expect now. So it's a little easier, but I know when we first got going, it was pretty nerve-wracking going from the 50 gallon to a fully automated brew house we had no clue about. So when the alpha guy came up, he helped us. You learn it. Just like our little system, we learned it. Yeah. We've been pretty good at not fucking up shit like recipes.
That's the main piece.
I think since we've opened, we've dumped 2 half batches, so just like a one batch or one normal size batch. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was us. I honestly think we got some shit hops, and it fucked the brew up. It just didn't taste like Saints. We're not going to send out Saints, one of our number one selling beers, if it's not up to snuff. So for sure. We ended up dumping those, and then we actually had a Saints batch about 2 months ago. We actually recalled it back from AGLC before anyone bought it, and we just have it in the back on a pallet, hoping people would steal it, and no one's even touched it. We actually thought some people took some, but it was just the flat got worn out from the rain, and fucking they all fell everywhere. Yeah.
Well, bring that flat up to Grand Prairie and leave it for. It'll be gone.
Oh man, it's been sitting in the sun. I would even open up a can. I think it would explode. It'd be so pressured up. But
So then, yeah, you guys have been growing, and I imagine you hit some big milestones. So maybe when you first took that leap to take this to the next level, what were some of your goals in mind, and kind of what did you guys have for a vision of where you wanted to take it? And I imagine you kind of surpassed some of those already. But maybe what were some of the big milestones that you guys hit that you were aiming for and really happy to get? I imagine one of them would be maybe getting the tap room open, getting that new big system. But is there any other ones?
Yeah, the biggest system, obviously, the biggest milestone was getting the big system in brewing.
Right.
Canning was a huge accomplishment for us.
Right.
Getting our own canning line, that was huge. We bought a little one originally, and it worked. It was very labor intensive. You needed lots of guys to wash cans and label, and it sucks. So we ended up only having it for a couple months. Then we ended up selling it to a brewery in the city there. But when we got the big system, we were pretty pumped. That was a big one. Obviously, getting our beer canned and sent all over Alberta was huge.
So when did you first ship your beer outside? Not just selling it in the tap room there, but when did you first ship it out to stores?
Oof, that would have been probably a year after we opened up. I would say
pretty relatively quick. You know, you guys
pretty quick. Yeah, everyone says when you start a business, you don't see really anything till the first 5 years, kind of shit. So when we started moving pretty fast with canning and seeing that product go and the revenue come in, it was pretty rewarding. It was a big milestone too, right?
Definitely.
Other than that, I don't know what would have been another milestone for us. Obviously, your sales, like
definitely
increasing sales and seeing just growing, right? You have your year end, right? And you're like, oh man, we're fucking red. So red.
There you go.
It sucks. And then you kind of start seeing it getting closer and closer. Then you're just, wow, we're doing it. We're
exactly.
I would say biggest milestone is actually becoming an established business.
For sure.
Going from the scare of just opening up this thing, we don't know what's going to happen, to actually, Dog Island's for real. Like they're here to stay. So
it's in stores, it's available.
Yeah,
it's a real deal.
Yeah, and now we're looking at breaking into Ontario. BC's a little tough, but we did our event last weekend with that Nation beer, and we're hoping that's going to bring some attention to us too.
So what kind of restrictions then are there to get into these different provinces? Is it every province is different? You kind of got to take it case by case, or is it just something you established? Does it go through AGLC and they put you in touch with the people on the other side, or how does that work?
Every province is kind of different. A lot of provinces require importers, so there'll be a company that just kind of deals with the logistics of bringing your beer in. If it's via ordering from AGLC, that's kind of how they do it. We actually just got a letter from LCBO, which is I think it's the Liquor Board of Ontario, or I don't know exactly what it stands for, but anyways, it's Ontario's Liquor Board. They had a big request for Nation beer, so we have to fill out this big form to become basically a company that can sell there. But once you get all this paperwork filled out, they put you on a list for like hundreds of importers to pick you up. Now, if these importers don't think you're good or don't want you, then you're hooped. Like you can't import into Ontario. But it's kind of the same with all of them. Each province kind of requires an importer. I think Saskatchewan's kind of the only one that's pretty chill. If you have a good reference, I think they can actually order directly from AGLC. So it's something we should push more, because I was even talking to like Rick Ball there. He lives in Saskatchewan. He's just, man, you guys need to get your beer there. There's nothing but trash. Like, and I'm not trying to shit on. I haven't tried many Saskatchewan beers, so I don't know. But if a guy's telling you that, it's like, well, maybe you should listen, right? Like maybe you should push some products at least, because I know a lot of my family lives there, and man, all they drink is fucking Pilsner and that pickle Caesar. I don't even know who makes it. It's good shit. It's actually really good. Like I kind of want some now, actually. It's so good.
Could go for a couple.
Yeah. But BC's tough. BC's really tough to get into. There's so much competition in BC,
Yeah,
especially Vancouver area, and
for
just
sure.
yeah, it's tough. I think there's this kind of this BC and Alberta just don't like each other right now. I think
No, I
honestly,
know.
so it just I don't know. We haven't really pushed it honestly. I think Kelowna is like probably the best place for us just to kind of branch out. I
Yeah,
don't think we'd dabble in Vancouver or
yeah,
Victoria. It's just not. Our beer is good. I know we can
mhm,
hold our own. I
for
just think
sure.
it's a visual mentality thing of people there that'd be like, nah, fuck these Alberta boys.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't want this Alberta
support
beer, but
local, support local. Which what we want that here too, right? Support
yeah.
local. It's like anywhere. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at with the provincial stuff. It's importers are kind of what you need. Yeah.
So then, I know maybe some of the, getting into some of these provinces would be goals. I was just asking you about goals that you and milestones that you've hit, but maybe going forward, what are the big ones kind of on the horizon? What are you guys aiming for? Is there any local brewery awards, or is there anything you're kind of targeting, or grow certain growth targets that you'd like to see? What's the next couple steps that you'd like to see for Dog Island?
Uh, I obviously, yeah, I'd love to get our products throughout provinces for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think our biggest milestone next is doing $1 million in sales.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing to
Yeah.
accomplish. I
Yeah.
hope we
Well,
can
we
do it
hope.
honestly. So we've been doing good. Like
I'm sure we will.
we've been doing great, and we just need to keep quality, keep the product, keep
Mm-hmm.
the visual
That's,
aspect, the love of us, and
exactly.
just keep
That's
it
the
up.
big.
It's the grind, right? Like
Yeah.
just keep your business going and encouraging more people to try it out and keeping them happy. We always try to
Yeah.
be our customer service, try to be good. And that's hard. There's
Mhm.
always lots of stuff and some stuff gets
Yeah.
missed. So it's, yeah, you always, it's like Amazon, right? No reason.
Yeah.
The reason people buy from them is fuck. You don't like the thing, you return it. It's customer service, right? Like,
Yeah.
you want to be the same as that. Just have a good beer and good experiences, and
Yeah.
yeah, keep everyone kind of involved in our social media and
Yeah.
try to do new things. We have, well, Kennedy Ball, right?
Yeah.
She's
I was about to go right there. Yeah.
yeah, she's our tapper manager. We call her. She's our manager. She's the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. And
She's
she's
so
doing an awesome job with your social
she's
media and
so
everything.
talented with that stuff. She's so
Yeah.
bubbly and
Yeah.
friendly. So we
Hmm.
love having her. We need her. Honestly,
For sure.
for Ben and I to succeed in making product and growing the business, we need someone to take care of the
Yeah.
social media, the tap room,
Mhm.
that aspect of it too. So it's nice having someone like that. And
For sure.
same with like Cody, he helps us out with just daily stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Buck, we need a cooler hooked up. Hey, there's our electrician. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like business, man. You get
Mhm.
people that are good,
Yeah.
that work for
And
you,
nice.
and nice and cool, and you
Yeah.
want to hang out with them.
Exactly.
You need to
Mhm.
keep them around and
Yeah.
pretty much give them whatever they want, because
Treat them good.
it's
Yeah.
hard, yeah, it's hard to find
Yeah.
good people. I mean,
Mhm.
we've been lucky. We've
Yeah.
had good employees. So
Yeah, I
we
think partially that's luck, and partially that's what you guys are creating there. And I think that passion, that love for it, brings in those type of people. Because that's what I was going to say. I think what I think is such a big piece of your success is people like Cody Thackeray and Kennedy that have that same mindset and are just really, really good, nice
yes,
people to begin with.
yeah,
Not only are they capable and they can do a really good job, like we've seen Cody and Kennedy do, but they also have that same spirit and they do it. And you keep that. And every piece of it, like you were talking about attention to detail, not only do you have that in the actual physical side, but even the people that you hire and the people that you keep around have that same aspect, and that really brings the whole thing together. Because as soon as you have, you can have the best business in the world and the best idea and the best beer, but if you
hmm,
don't have, if you have an asshole in the system, it spreads from there. But you guys have no bad apples, and I think that's what's so impressive, just from an outside view of seeing the right people. And I saw Cody get involved. I mean, you can't have a nicer guy than Cody Thackeray, right?
no,
He's one of
yeah, exactly,
my
yeah,
life, right? And that's a
Canuso
perfect fit.
farmer,
Yeah, yeah, it's going
yeah,
to be a perfect fit. And then I see you guys get Kennedy Bond. Oh, another perfect fit. Just watching from the outside, from the business perspective, is they're doing everything right. They're following every step, and I think that's if you can keep that going, that's going to take you a long way because you have those kind of people that you can lean on and are there for you and going to bring your business and care about it too. You can see that. They're not just employees. You can see Kennedy and Cody, and they want it to be successful. They want it to
yeah,
be good. It's their
yeah,
own. It's their own business, and I think even further than that, you can take it even probably lots of your your regulars, it's like it's their brewery too. Like I think a lot of
Mhm.
people in like are so invested in Dog Island and want it to succeed so much because they love it so much, and it's something that grew out of Slave. Like I think it's almost like you have half the town working there because they care about it so much. Just if you really needed anything, everyone would jump right to you. And I think that probably, I would imagine that probably feels pretty special for you guys to feel that. That groundswell behind you to keep you pushing forward. It's a little easier when you're going through those, like you say, shaking your head, those those long sleepless nights when you're making those big decisions. It's a lot easier when you know you have that support behind you. I would imagine. I'm talking for you, but I imagine that's pretty special.
No, man, you nailed it. I think there's an attraction to Dog Island and working there, and yeah, like I said, we see it in our employees, like Cody and Kennedy, for example, that
Mm-hmm.
they really want to be a part of it. They're a pinnacle part of it. We need them,
For sure.
and we also have our regulars that keep coming back for more. That they're there
Mm-hmm.
every time we open, even if just for one beer, just to say hi.
Yeah.
Fuck, we have like two older guys that they're like they're like our angels, man, in the
Yeah.
background. They're one's 72, one's like 78. Like they're old, and
Yeah.
they're there every day. They help us can. They
Yeah.
help us do everything. Like they're so important to us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got a good little family there. Good little the regulars, the people we
Mm-hmm.
see. Like we say it all the time. It's kind of sad when you don't see him, or fuck,
Yeah.
where's Ken today? Like what's he doing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's on holidays. Oh, okay, good. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you don't
Oh,
want
that's
these
all.
guys to leave or go away, but there's a lot of people. It's amazing how big the province is. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't seem big, but it is. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in Slave Lake still that have not tried Dog Island. Oh, I gotta make it down there. I gotta make it down there.
Really? At this
How
point?
the fuck have you not been there yet?
No shit.
Like I don't know. So yeah, it's we are proud, man. There's so many people I did not know I would ever hang around with or talk to or be friends with
Mhm.
until I opened the brewery. Being young and whatever, maybe it was me. Maybe I was just kind of a cocky little fucker that wouldn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, just I didn't go out of my way to talk to people as
Mhm.
much as I do now.
Right.
So it's definitely opened my eyes to be very open and social and be
Mhm.
friendly and just with people because they'll reciprocate it back. And
For sure.
we definitely see that in the brewery. There's a lot of family, I call them now, because
Yeah.
there's some wicked people that roll through there,
Mhm.
and especially new
And
people now too.
yeah. And when you can build yourself something like that, whatever it is, whatever your passion is, it's clearly it's brewing for you. But if you can build that and make it your passion and make it into your livelihood, and then it's so nice to go to work every day. I'm speaking for you, but I imagine it'd be so nice when you know you're going to have good, positive interactions with your regulars, with your staff. It's no matter how hard it is and what hardships you have with the brewing, if you lose a batch or whatever, you have all this positivity to keep it coming back. And just that alone, you think about how many people around the world don't get to enjoy what they do, and just how lucky it is to be able to find something like that, or to build something like that. You didn't find it, you built it for yourself. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they have that option if they're passionate about something, to take it to a point where you can build, and how much happiness comes out of that. Because I imagine when you compare it to some of the other jobs you've had, I imagine this one takes the cake for happiness level, coming home every night.
Oh, for sure. It doesn't feel like work, definitely, when you go in the morning.
Yeah.
Everyone gets there and kind of has their coffees and bullshits, and it's you go to work, but at the same time, you're not. Everyone's doing the same thing, trying to achieve that
Mhm.
same goal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're brewing beer. Like, come on, your whole premise is to make people feel feel the love in the
Yeah.
beer, feel the love in the environment, like
Yeah.
enjoy the beers, come bullshit, like tell us how your day was, how was your weekend, how was your week, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
definitely it doesn't feel like a job. It is kind of a dream. It is a dream job.
Yeah.
um but it is still a business, and it is still a
For
grind.
sure.
And
You never
you know
forget
it's
that. Never
it's
mind.
like Ben and I know more than ever, the like you said, the sleepless nights now. And we have
Mhm.
some pretty good people behind us too, like my wife and Ben's wife and our kids
Of
that
course.
are,
Of course.
man, they put up with a lot of shit
For sure.
for
And
dealing with us.
they allowed you guys to take that leap too, right? When you talk about a leap like that, that's not a leap that you're taking on your own.
No,
You say
no,
that's your family coming with you across that ledge and that canyon. They're trusting you to bring them to the promised land, really, and
yeah.
that put so much more pressure on it. But also, I would imagine makes it just that much more rewarding when you do, and you're so thankful for them for that, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah. And like those first couple of years, it's a headache. You go home
Mhm.
and your wife's wondering, where's the money? Where's this? Where's
Yeah,
that? It's stressful. It's hard on everything. It's hard on the
of course.
marriage, hard on the bank account, it's hard on that.
Yeah,
So when you start getting out of that bubble and start seeing um, just normal life, like
yeah,
doesn't have to be a shit ton of money, but enough
yeah.
to live. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's like
Hmm.
such a rewarding and relaxing feeling on your
Yeah,
mind, your body, and everything. Because it's like, holy fuck, I can actually breathe and like enjoy
yeah.
myself because I'm not
Hmm.
stressing about all these important things. Yeah, just important things in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's,
yeah.
but yeah, Ben and I both got girls too, and uh, we're so busy and we're always
Yeah.
at the brewery.
Mhm.
We usually get there at 8 and work till about 5 or 6 ish, but
Mhm.
we're always on our phones.
Yeah.
We're never away from the company.
Mhm.
People call us, when you guys open? Like, fuck, that pisses me off. When you open, like, dude, it's the 21st century. Go on
No
Google.
shit.
Like, it
No
tells you
shit.
right on Google. But whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
It's easy just to say it too. But I'm just bitchy because fucking people
Yeah.
are terrible sometimes. But we're always doing something. From
Mhm.
a weekend when I'm gonna go hang out with my kids. Oh, I'm having trouble with a keg. Can you come
Mhm.
here? Okay, yeah, I'll be there in 5 and
Mhm.
do your thing. And then you see someone in the tap room. Hey, how's it going? Fuck, go have a beer.
Yeah.
Then you're there for an hour and your wife come home and your wife's pissed. Oh, I thought you're only going for an hour. And it's like, yeah, you know what it's like. Yeah, I
Mhm.
do, unfortunately, right? So yeah, it's business. You definitely do what you have to do
And
to
I
make.
think, and I think that is exactly what a lot of Slave Lake is. Just speaking from my own personal experience, I know growing up, my dad was always the same thing, right? He'd be gone to the fields. He'd be out in Nipissey. He'd leave at 6 in the morning, get back at 10 at night, and you'd see him for. We'd let us stay up a little bit extra just so we could say hi to him, and then it was back to it, right? And then we transitioned from there. It was always on the phone. I think that's just piece of that small town oil field business that maybe you don't escape from fully. It's just business itself, right? It sucks you back in. You're always going to have that, but yeah, I imagine the kiddos get to come hang out at the brewery every once in a while, come play around in the jungle gym that it is. Or
Oh
no, if we're
yeah, they love it, and
yeah,
we have like Disney Plus and everything there too. For not
oh
even just for
beautiful
them. Fuck, we'll be brewing and
for you.
watching yeah, watching
Yeah.
old movies and funny
I can just
stuff.
imagine you brewing a nice Dibsbury and listening to Mulan, singing along to the songs. That's
Oh
just
man, there's not a
guaranteed.
greater day. I don't think there's a greater day than that.
No,
Mulan. No, it's the kids love it.
yeah.
As they get older too, I think they realize more about it and what it's
Mhm.
about. And
Yeah,
yeah, they love coming there. Usually even just for lunches or walk
yeah,
around. And it's kind of been shitty lately with that whole COVID thing because it just
for
like
sure.
you don't really want to bring your kids out a whole lot, especially around a
No.
bunch of people. So
Hmm. Hmm.
they'll come lots during the day when we're not open and just kind of linger. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's kids are funny.
yeah. But I imagine just putting myself in that position of just kind of looking at it. I would imagine that'd be a special thing for a kid to be able to grow up playing around in a place with that much love and that much laughter. Because just the times I've been there, as soon as you step through those doors into that tasting room, it's you can't not be happy in there. There's people laughing. There's people cheers and drinking and having a great time, and just all that love and that camaraderie, just to be able to be around that all the time. I think that goes a long way. They might not, even if they're at an age where they don't fully understand what's going on, they can get the tone of it. And I think that's always special for kids to have something like that where they get to grow up around it, and it's just a
Yeah,
place where
I think so
where
too. Yeah.
there's not a lot of negativity, right? And I think that's also special for kids to be able to
Yeah.
kind of hang around. It's nice that you have that opportunity to show that to your kids and have them grow up in that. And that's I think that'll go a long way. In a couple of years, it'll show itself too. So I think that's just, it's so amazing. I always find it that when people follow their passions and don't kowtow to the fear, how many things fall into place like that, where I'm sure you didn't get into brewing because it'd be a great place for your kids to grow up around and stuff like that. But just how many other things fall into place when just by the pure fact of following something you're really passionate about, all the other shit's going to fall in place, right? The money, the family stuff, that's all going to kind of put itself together if you're determined and like you were saying, grind and you go back to it every day and you recognize that this is something important and I'm going to follow it through to as far as I can and I'm not going to give up. Then all this other stuff kind of falls into place. And you see it everywhere with people that do it, whether it's a brewery or whatever it is, it's kind of a funny thing the way the world works. And I think if more people understood that, more people chase their passion, should be a better place to go around. And there'd be less sad fuckers that hate going to work every morning when that alarm goes off, fucking, hitting that button, wanting to fucking hit it with a hammer. Right. And I think that's a big piece of it. It's a good message that you can send to people, look, fuck, if these guys did it, right. You guys didn't have any special plans or, there was nothing handed to you guys. You guys had to kick and crawl and scream and, claw your way to be there and look what you did. Fuck, that's awesome.
No, you're right. It's, and you kind of, when you get going, you can't listen to all the other people's bullshit because there's so many people who are like, oh, Gil bought all your stuff and Gil this. It's like, no, he fucking didn't. He gave us the middle bay to use, and we grew the business so much that we basically bought the whole shop from him.
Exactly.
Like, if that's not like a success, like fuck you, right? Like
when people see somebody follow their dreams and follow their passion, it touches a certain spot in themselves that whatever it is probably not brewing, but whatever it is for them that they're not doing it and that they are unhappy, it's that immediate thing as soon as tear it down instead of being happy for them that they took that risk. Everybody just wants to tear it down, right? You see it all the time, but
you do see it lots. It's just that jealousy stuff, and it's kind of like when we got going there, some people will be like, oh no, I don't like craft beer and Bud Light's better, it's cheaper, like the price of craft beer is expensive. It's like, well, man, there's like 6 liquor stores here. Like, go there and buy this shit and don't waste my time. Like, if you want to try something different and unique, then come back and hell, I'll buy you the first pint. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's great. Like you said about the kids growing up in the environment, I think they will really appreciate it, especially when they're older. Not when they're too old though. When they're like 16, 18, I'm not gonna like that. Neither is Ben. Like, he's got 2 girls and I got 3 girls. Like, fuck that. Like, you're gonna have these girls coming around trying to probably steal booze. Yeah. Or they're coming with their boyfriends and I'll be like, oh man, it's yeesh. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
You got many years before.
I know. Many years to plan.
By that time you'll have Dog Island breweries all over the place and you'll be kicking names, hopefully. So then I guess that transition. So maybe we're talking about goals and little things, but in a perfect world of where you can see it going, do you guys have you talked about kind of a vision of, a pie in the sky kind of dream of where you'd like to take it if all the chips fell the right way? Like you say, doing this experience, the hurdles that are going to come up, but you've already proven to yourselves that, with the grind, you can kind of take it wherever you guys want, however you want to. Do you guys have an idea of where that is?
Yeah, we do. We definitely want to expand into bigger centers. I think you can do very well if you have a good product and branding that in a big center. Like, we're fortunate that Slave is so behind us. And I would say our local city, Edmonton, is a lot of them know about us and support us quite heavily. So I think for us doing either like a brewery tap room in Edmonton even would be a nice goal. For sure. Even a pub where we have our products and kind of do like craft does, but gear it more towards Dog Island and have a spot. So yeah, I think that'd be a good goal, honestly, to accomplish. And like, I'm gonna give it a big number, like 10 years, if we could expand to that point and still produce. Sure. I think too, because Slave Lake is so north, we get fucked on shipping. Like, everything costs more money to get it there. So if we could kind of move the main operation of brewing into a bigger center like Edmonton or even Calgary, but I think it would help out a lot in the business part of it and kind of have like little satellite spots. It kind of be like Last Best and Capio, like I think it's Bear Hill or whoever owns it. Basically, the guy won millions back in the day. He started Jasper Ave Brewing. He started Banff Ave. He started Last Best. Owns all these breweries. So is that like a dream for us too? Yes. To own maybe a couple different breweries too would be a cool aspect, and kind of start like a DIB group where, you know, they own Dog Island, they own Forever Brewing and Dream Brewing, you know what I mean, like all these different places.
Sure, that'd be awesome.
Just kind of have like a unique aspect in each location for that area, kind of thing. So that's a dream. I know it is for Ben too. Just grow into whatever, make beer, do a pub, like the whole social aspect of it, and camaraderie is where it's at. So
yeah, for sure. And just trying to, I think that's, if that is a goal, I think that's awesome for you guys to already have so many good, successful years in Slave Lake and have that spirit. And because so much of Dog Island Brewery is Slave Lake and Slave Lake is Dog Island, I think that to have those core years like you're in right now of, you know, getting really established with who you are and as a business and what you want to do in Slave Lake, and then branching out there and bringing that Slave Lake spirit to wherever you go, whether that's Edmonton, Calgary, wherever you're putting tap houses. And then, like you say, you know, maybe it's a different brewery, maybe it's not Dog Island that you start, but with that same passion, same spirit that you brought with that first one that made such good products. Because the way I see it, you know, a product like yours, it doesn't matter where it is. It's so good and so tasty that it, you know, wherever you take it, I think it's going to do well. I think it's just a matter of however many mouths you can get it to, really. I think it's fucking killer.
We're so fortunate to be here, honestly, because of the support we've had from Slave Lake. It's really been like a teaching town. I don't know if that sounds dumb, but
I know what you mean.
Just like the whole town and our local support group has just taught us so much about how to treat customers. If we're doing so well marketing and that here, then we should do very well when we go to these big centers and have that maybe that small town feel where everyone knows everyone in the pub or the brewery or whatever we opened up, right? Like you want to really establish that in not just the brewery in town, but anywhere we open up. And obviously, if you're hiring new employees, like you're obviously really going to look out for employees that would capture that too, and really make anyone that comes there feel like they're this is my bar, this is my watering hole.
Exactly, that same feeling when you walk in that tap room in Slave Lake, that feeling that you get, that I was talking about, that everyone is so, you know, that's always laughter, it's always smiles, that just taking that and creating that other places and just having more pockets that around Alberta, you know, that's the best thing you can do. There's not much more positivity and just pure joy they can spread than that, and I think that's an awesome sentiment. And you can make it successful, make money, but also bring joy to people. I think there's nothing better than that, really. If you can make money and make people happy, that's the best you can ask for, really, in any job. And I think that's awesome that you guys have kind of got there so far, and you have big plans to bring it to more people, because I think the more people that get exposed to it, the better. Just a kind of a funny question. Have you guys ever thought of trying anything other than beer? Have you ever thought of trying to distill anything or get?
We've actually done it. Yeah, good. Actually, we made a gin. So we're actually in the process of getting our distilling license. Just with this COVID thing, it's just kind of been on the back burner because of AJLC's so busy with other stuff. But we did a gin. We both love gin, and we did make one. We kind of followed like a generic Southern recipe, but it turned out actually really good. We had you could ask Blaine McGregor about it, because I think he drank all their fucking bottles, that guy. So, yeah, but it was good. It kind of had a little cinnamon taste to it, and for distilling our first kind of batch, it was good. But there's obviously lots to learn. We do cider. We do have our cider license, so we basically just buy like the apple must, and add our yeast and just kind of do like a dry cider option for people in the tap room.
How different is brewing cider to beer?
It's not bad. We're kind of like an actual cidery in probably BC would be way more of a process than what we're doing, because they'd have to take those apples and press them to extract that juice and everything, right? We're basically just buying the juice and doing it that way. It's super easy, but it is still cider, and it's honestly a nice option for someone that comes to a brewery that's gluten-free or whatever, right? And actually the cider sells out all the time. It's people
Awesome.
they seem to like it. So yeah, we keep making it. We've done a seltzer. We've done seltzers. They're a little tougher. We found the flavorings kind of hard to nail down. It's not like when we do our Dibsberry or Apple Dog or that when we add our fruit in. We kind of tried the same thing, but we found the seltzer didn't pull out the flavor as much as we'd like to. So it was they weren't bad, but you know what
you guys wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And like you put in a tap room, we're like, try this seltzer, and we're like super excited about it. And someone tries and you're like, yeah, no, it's good. We know right away. We're like, okay, don't fucking lie to us, man. Like, is it shit? And they right away, well, it's not White Claw. And we're like, fucking White Claw. Like, it's so good. Like,
I know, they fucked for everyone else.
The guy that made White Claw is loaded. Like, man, like, so now everyone's trying to do seltzers. You know, you see Trulies, you see there's one in Calgary, Village Brewing. They do one. I don't even know what else. Those I guess are the couple of big ones. But there's a couple breweries that are doing them too. They're not as good as White Claw, truthfully. Like you said, like if you're making a seltzer, you really have to make sure it's like a White Claw, in my opinion. You can do other flavorings, but there's a reason why they are so popular. So, but yeah, we're constantly creating something new, especially for the people in the tap room. I guess as another dream point, having a distillery would be super rad.
Yeah, that'd be fucking cool.
It really would be. It would be cool to have it as its own kind of entity. Where kind of like Phillips does, they have their fermentorium. They do like that stump gin and that really good stuff, but it's Phillips Brewing, but their own kind of side gig. That'd be neat if we could incorporate that even into the tap room, where you could come there and you could get a gin and soda or a fucking Moscow Mule or even a Caesar, like hell, right? Like go wherever. So it'd be really cool. So definitely on our radar. Timeline on it, no idea.
Who knows? Yeah,
we've been so busy brewing that it's just everything else is kind of on the back burner. I guess that's where you look at, okay, do you hire employees to strictly do that? Do you look for a guy that's distilled before and buy the necessary equipment to really branch out into that? We're very like 50-50 with it right now. We're not sure.
And it would have to like we were talking about with Cody and with Kennedy, you need that it'd have to be the perfect person that can fit in with the family that you've created, right? You couldn't just bring in Joe Schmo off the street because it might throw off the whole vibe of everything else, so it makes it even tougher, right? Yeah,
and bringing someone, I think, to Slave Lake from another area, you kind of got to like that Slave Lake area, man. It's different. You lived here, man. It's a different life, so you're kind of remote, you're far from everything. So if you're pulling someone from Edmonton or Calgary, I don't know how excited they'd be. They might be for a little bit until winter comes and there's nothing to do. So
we've had many an employee come do a 3-year stint and then decide that's enough for them and take off back.
You see it exactly.
So wherever they happen to be from, right? We see that all the time, and it's not for everybody, right? When you grow up there or around there, you get a lot out of it. But I think when you come in from the outside, if you don't, you can break in and you can become a member of Slave Lake if you follow the right channels. It's not completely impossible to break into, but it definitely is harder. And if you don't have success in the first couple of years and you feel on the outside, I can't blame for people who want to know, especially when you are on the inside. It's such an amazing feeling, and it's so much positive comes out of it, and how much people are behind you. That imagine to come in and not have that, it'd be probably pretty tough.
So that's definitely an aspect. And I mean, if we were to do distilling, you'd have to get a new not a location, but you'd have to get a building for it, and
for sure.
Yeah, it's oh man, there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
After making one style of alcohol, it's kind of like, do you do all of them?
Yeah.
A lot of guys have had good success. Say like Trouble Monk and Red Deer, like they started out brewing and then they distilled and they have like a really good gin. They have like a Trouble Tea. It's like twisted tea and it's
Oh,
phenomenal.
really?
It's really good. If you haven't tried it, try it. Like their Trouble Tea kicks ass.
So would that be like closer to like a would that be distilled or would you brew that?
It's basically like a vodka almost malt tea. It's kind of, I don't know the whole process on it, but
Right, right.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they take their vodka that they make and then they use like a tea and something else in it to make it like a malt. Yeah, I probably sound like a fucking idiot because I don't know exactly how the process goes,
That's
but
what
I
I
know.
do every time. Every
Don't
time I
quote,
try to hop on.
no one quote me on this and try to go make
Yeah.
if you make it and it's something new, I want 1% of your profits.
Yeah,
Like, it
exactly,
might be
exactly.
something
That's the next
crazy.
big craze.
Yeah. So who knows? We know the guys well. We meet so many people at these beer
Yeah.
fests and everything.
Oh,
So
I bet.
a lot of guys are super rad and very helpful. You can ask them questions and they'll.
Yeah, it's a good community.
It is, yeah. The beer industry is great.
Oh, that's awesome.
You meet so many people. The guys and the girls at each place, they're all there for the same reason you are, right? To make a good product, make people happy. So these beer fests really bring it out, especially like Banff, Edmonton, and Calgary. A lot of them are party ones, but you still have a lot of people that go there that want to try every beer, and restaurant owners and bars that actually search out new products. It's a good way to get our stuff out there too. So yeah.
So is there a big national beer conference in Canada, or like craft beer conference or whatever you would call it?
Actually,
Probably not this year with COVID, but
yeah, not this. I actually don't know if there is a big advertised Canadian one. I know we went to the Victoria one last year and they advertised it as the Great Canadian Beer Fest.
right.
It might as well be the Great fucking Vancouver Beer Fest because literally everyone there is from Vancouver. Very little people from outside. So there was a couple of the Alberta breweries that went there and it was super fun. But I know the States do one. They do, I'm pretty sure it's like the American Beer Conference or something.
Right.
It's huge, like absolutely huge, and they rotate locations. I think last year was San Antonio, and the year before there was Denver, or whatever. They do it in cool places. It's kind of I know Ben and we really want to go. Yeah, that's something we've never been. We hear nothing but good things, and hell, you're going to I've never been to the States actually ever, so I've flown over it a couple times. Yeah, so to go there for a beer fest would be
that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe we'll wait till it comes to Vegas and then we'll just go fucking wild. I've never been to Vegas, so if you could go to Vegas for a beer conference and like just two birds, one stone, man. Oh wow.
Well, that's what I thought you were gonna say. It's in Vegas every year because it seems like those big conferences are always in Vegas. We went a couple of years ago to the SEMA show down there, like the big car show.
Yeah,
I got so fucking chafed from walking around. I think one day we did like 30 kilometers and we looked at our watches because it never ends, man. Like you're walking, you're seeing all this cool shit. Your mind's being blown all day.
Yeah,
you think you've seen it all. You walk into like the next exhibition hall, and it's like 30 football fields long of just the coolest shit you've ever seen. You walk around this for 2 days, and then you go down to like this basement level, and it's all like the Asian knockoff parts for like all these things. There'll be a booth of just like nuts and a booth for bolts and a booth for exhaust covers, and like it was absolutely insane. I couldn't believe just the square footage that it covered. And then they said they have rotating like expos. Then like the next month is like the construction expo, and apparently it's the same shit. But man, I was just blown away by the size of that shit.
Yeah, there's some big ones, and it draws a lot of people. Well, we even see it here, man. Like the people that actually like make trips and make their routes to travel brewery to brewery, like it's insane. So you think of an area like the States where all the states are relatively close to each other. So these people that are huge beer fans, they'll fly there or drive there to try thousands of different products and stuff they've never tried, or I don't know how it is for them to get their products in each state. I'm sure it's pretty relaxed, but yeah, they're going there to try these new products and have this
Mm.
crazy experience. And it's a drunk, like, you don't think it's gonna be, but you get this like 4 ounce sample cup, and
Yeah.
you're like, and you're kind of a cocky. You're like, oh, this is all I get. But man, you give this guy a token, he fills you up this 4 ounce shot. It's basically a shot. You might as well call it shots, because
Yeah.
you have a sip. Oh yeah, it's good, smells great, whatever. Then slam it back. Okay, give me your next thing. And each brewery usually has 4-ish beers or whatever. They could have one, but a lot of guys bring a couple, right?
Yeah.
So by the end of the night, like, you see the progressions of people
Yeah.
from like
That's
talking
pretty
to you
cool.
like, how's it going, I'm this guy, to like later on night and they're like, oh, your guys' beer is a fucking bomb. Like, it's and they're either they're carrying their wives or their wives are carrying them, because everyone's polluted. And I don't even know how everyone makes it home, man. The cabs are all waiting outside, and it just everyone disperses and does their thing. And yeah, beer fests are wild. If you've never been to one, you gotta go to a couple. I think GP holds one, actually.
Yeah, I think I meant to go to it last year when it came.
Yeah.
I just got busy. Never
They
ended
asked
up-
us to go too. It was kind of a shit weekend. We got caught up, and so I think we're actually at a different beer fest, truthfully. So,
Right.
but they do some big ones in Alberta. They do so Alberta Beer Festivals, ABF. Those guys are dead. The whole crew is fucking amazing. But they do 2 in Edmonton, and they do 2 in Calgary, and then they do 1 in Banff and 1 in Jasper. Yeah,
On a lot of events. Holy shit.
yeah, and it's usually from when does it start? June, I think. June, I think, is when they start, and they kind of go for those 2 months, and then they're off for July and August, and then they start back up in September. They do 1 in Edmonton, 1 in Calgary, and then they do Banff in November, and I think Jasper in February. Regardless, they're nuts. Calgary is nuts.
Yeah.
It's fucking insanely huge.
Yeah.
Banff is by far the best beer fest, though.
Yeah.
I think
And
just like that.
Scenery too.
Oh, it's not as big. It's just nice. Like, it's like you said. Yeah, it's not to sound corny, but it's so fucking gorgeous there. Like, you go there, the mountains are in the background. It's kind of in this like cave and basin area, and it's outside but inside. Like, it's all tented, but it's all heated and everything. So
nice.
You see so many people at that place, and they kind of say it's the all the breweries, all the main people kind of use that one as like a little vacation. So the beer group really comes together, and everyone kind of parties together. Yeah, until Kennedy clears the dance floor with her punch.
I've seen that quite a few times.
Holy man.
You bring the whole crew down? Does Cody come with you? Kennedy, everyone?
Cody hasn't come to. No, Cody has come to Banff. I think he has. Fuck, I actually got. Yeah, he has. I'm positive he has. Anyways, we have brought the crew before. When Matt Waters, when he was helping us brew there for a while, we brought him down. Last year we brought Kennedy down, and it's fun. Like, it's kind of nice to bring people down, because it gives you a chance to walk around and talk and socialize, and then go serve again. So we honestly try to bring 4 of us, and then we kind of just rotate, and you get to enjoy it, but you also are there to work too. So, but it's pretty funny when you bring someone like Kennedy and everyone's going out, and fuck, I remember at this bar, man, there's like this, it had to be like a wedding party or something. They're all dancing nice, and she rolls out there loaded and starts punch dancing. I'm just like, the whole all the beer people are just like, wow, who is this chick, and who is she with? And we're like, oh, that's our girl, Dog Island. Like,
get your Dog Island hat on.
But I think that's just the mentality of us, and like, I think everyone in the beer industry knows how we are. We're just kind of like run of the mill. We just do whatever. It's fun. We're there for fun. I think a lot of people are, because a lot of people ask us if we went to school, and you always have the people who are like, well, I mean, you guys won't know this, you won't know that. But it's like, well, at the same time, we've made a lot of good beers.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you tasted the beer? Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And the business is going well. So it's like, for if you're not doing anything and we're doing this, it's kind of like shut your mouth, man. Like
Yeah.
there's more than there's more than just brewing beer and going to school. Like you really
For
gotta
sure.
expound on every aspect of it.
Mhm. You could have people that go to school, get a master's degree in brewing for whatever it's worth. If you don't have the passion, you don't brew it with love like you guys do, and with fun. I think is a big part of it. Like you say, there to have fun and there to enjoy it. It comes out right. You can taste it in that beer, and you can
Oh,
feel it in
100%.
that tap room, right? And
Yeah.
I think people don't recognize the importance of that in all things, but especially something like brewing, where you're crafting someone for people to enjoy, right? That all those things that are handcrafted like that, you can feel the love, you can feel the passion in them. And if you just think it's something you can go to school and learn, this much hops and this much, I got the perfect recipe. It's not, it's more than that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, you're right. And you see some of the breweries that have the guys like that, and they do create some good beers,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think there's that general love from the random people. Like
Yeah.
I think
It doesn't
from
connect with family.
exactly. That's a perfect way to say it. Yeah, you don't connect
Yeah.
with the people where, yeah, you might connect with the craft beer snobs per se that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I gotta have the newest thing and the craziest
Right.
thing. But it's like, well, you're making beer for, like, you can't deny that Budweiser and Bud Light still,
Mm-hmm.
like, they sell so much beer for a reason.
Yeah.
It's an easy drinking beer. We all
Yeah.
grew up on it, so you can't,
For sure.
like, yeah, I don't choose to drink it, but I wouldn't say it's a shitty product because, well, hell, that it's everywhere. It's
Yeah, exactly.
um,
You're fooling yourself if you try and say that. Yeah.
and that was a thing too. Like when we got going, I think for us, we got to brew an IPA. You have to brew a good IPA to be a craft brewery. You know what I mean? And then the Dibsbury and everything to follow. Now I see the trend, especially in Alberta, is almost like everyone's trying to do that lager. Everyone's
Yeah.
trying to do that
Uh-huh.
that light beer. But I don't know. Hell, look at us. Like we partnered with Oilers Nation there,
Mhm.
and our Nation beer is like a 4%
Yeah.
Kolsch. We've been like pounding it out because it's just an easy drinking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say summer beer because it's gonna go through hockey season, and
Yeah.
that's what it's marketed and
What do you
designed
mean
for.
hockey season is the summer now? Haven't you heard?
Yeah, well, wow, it's
Yeah,
turned, man. It's
I
crazy, but
know.
yeah, I hope it's good. Everyone's kind of like critical about it, like, oh, whoever wins this year, it's not gonna matter. It's like, fuck
Fuck
you,
that.
man.
I
Like,
think I think it's the complete opposite. I think this is the most parity that has been in the league every year. People are coming in with injuries. You're not coming in how there's so
yeah,
much. The one year, maybe that little playing thing, but hey, that's still fair game. You still got to win it. Hockey is one of those things where you earn it. You can kind of fumble your way into a lot of championship in different
yeah,
sports. Hockey you can't.
yeah.
It's impossible to
No,
at that.
you're right. You have to earn it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think with that much parity and everybody coming back healthy, these teams that if they would have made the playoffs wouldn't have had any shot with the injuries that were coming in. Look at the Blues. Look at the Lightning that are going to come in full power and see what they can do. I
Yeah,
think this is going to be one of the most exciting, best
yeah.
fucking hockey that we get to watch. I'm
And
so pumped for it.
oh, I am too. You're right, and I think well, the brewery is gonna be bumping because of it,
Holy
man.
fuck, is it
Like
ever, man? Oh,
everywhere.
that's
Like
awesome.
well, I shouldn't say ever because COVID's still strong. So
Right,
as
right.
much as I'd like it to be how it was, where everyone's at the
Yeah.
bars and going crazy, it will have to be a little more reserved. But the people that are at that bar are gonna have the fucking time of their life. Like
For
it's gonna
sure.
be
Yeah.
crazy. So no, we're
And all the
definitely
people just piling into their buddies' houses, just having
yeah.
their
Oh
own
yeah,
little bar.
yeah. So
Holy shit.
definitely we'll see that because everyone will see can sales going up.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff will be affected. It'll help us out too. So
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's gonna be great.
it's gonna be exciting. It's crazy. I know us when everyone asks us, "Oh, are you guys gonna have your beer at Rogers now?" Because we partner with Oilers Nation. It's like, well, no, because Oilers Nation is not directly affiliated with the
Right.
Oilers. They're
They're independent.
basically like a marketing firm that
Mhm.
like super fans almost, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the guy
Exactly.
the guys at Oilers Nation are so deadly. Like Jared's the
Yeah.
marketing guy. Yeah, he's awesome. He's a beauty. We're quite fortunate to get a deal going with them.
That's awesome.
And yeah, we've been doing well. We kind of been marketing the Oilers. We did the Canada Day labels. I think
Yeah.
now we're gonna roll out the Flames Nation colors, and we can go Flames, Canucks Army, fucking Leafs. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're hurting my soul here, but I understand.
I'm
I'll give
sick.
it a pass.
I don't
Yeah.
like saying it either, but
I know.
it's gonna be. We actually thought about trolling all the labels we do because on our barcode for Oilers, the Nation beer for Oilers, it's all the cup wins and just kind of worked out number wise.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we were gonna troll like the Leafs one, like just 0-0-0-0-0.
0-0.
80, I think it was like 87 or something, or
Yeah.
whenever they won their cup there. So
Oh, it wasn't even that recent. I think it was in this early 70s, I think.
was it? Yeah.
So.
Ben knew, right? He was telling me.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
would,
like,
he would have it, yeah.
but then we're bugging Cody, like Canucks fan, right? I'm just
Canucks,
like,
yeah.
so do we just not put a barcode? And he's like, fuck you.
Like, free. Well, you'll just
Yeah.
be giving those ones away anyway. No one's going to want to buy them.
Yeah,
You might as
yeah.
well not even put a barcode on.
You almost don't even want to put the same beer and you just want to put like shit.
Yeah.
But obviously that wouldn't be a good business side of it,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it goes. I know some people are, even in Calgary, like, well, I don't want your fucking beer down here anyways, because even though it's going to have Calgary colors, I know it's like a...
Yeah. It's got Oilers colors inside.
But because their home base is in Edmonton.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it's good. That was as we grow and stuff like that, the partnerships with cool companies that market your product, and they're marketing as their own, right? Which is cool because it's Nation beer, it's their beer. This is, so we really need to make sure that we keep up on quality and have the supply, and just kind of, I don't know why I'm holding the fucking Beauty and the Beast book here for you. Yeah, tell my kids are down here.
There you go. I'm sure it was the kids watching that, right?
Fuck, I was just reading it before I got on here. Shut up.
You can't read.
Yeah, but no, it's good. Like, I think when you grow your business, marketing helps.
Yeah, definitely. And they market so well, Oilers Nation. That's what they do. They're impeccable at it, right? So
100%. And we always like had that in the back of our minds. Okay, like, how do we increase sales? How do these companies do it? And I mean, like, you can see why these companies spend money on commercials and all that stuff, because it really does work. Like, you pay a company, like you partner with Oilers Nation and they market your beer, and you see the pros of it, and you also see a direct correlation with that in your normal products, because not only are people bringing in Nation beer, they're also like, oh, what else does Dog Island have? It's like, well, fuck, let me tell you, man, because we have Saints, we have Tibbs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think because of this partnership, we've increased, because like just all around, and awesome. It's been a good thing. So now, you look at, okay, do you get the Nation group to market Saints, like, or do you get a separate firm to market it that way too? So I don't know, there's lots to it.
Ways you can go.
It's such a exactly. And that, obviously we're talking about owning a bar and all that kind of stuff. It's like, do you really need that, or do you just kind of open it up as a sideline business and your partners in it, and let someone else do that bidding, and you just focus on getting you just create beer and market? And at one point, did Ben and I just focus on that, and do we hire a brewmaster to come and brew all our beers here and focus on that? But it's kind of one of those things, maybe you hire someone and they don't have the passion you do for it, and it goes It was kind of that was like a big thing with us. You see a lot of breweries in Alberta open up, and after a while they lose their brewmaster. And that was a thing that we always said, because we do everything. We brew the beer, we do all this, we manage, we do all that. Where these companies, they open up, they hire a brewmaster from wherever. A lot of them come from BC, truthfully. And they create some good beers, they win awards, blah, blah, blah. And then I think it's that same thing where they just get tired of being here. You know what I mean? Like how we're talking about how you get someone up to a different area that's not really their cup of tea. It's the same thing. These guys come to Edmonton or Calgary from Vancouver, and it's so gorgeous there, right? Like after a while they lose this brewer, then they're fucked. Like, who's going to make the beer now? So you get someone else in there from local, and are they able to create those recipes the same? Are they able to make new recipes? So that's one thing. as we
Yeah.
grow, we always have to be mindful of is, do one of us always keep brewing,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
you really search out someone that's perfect for the job.
Mhm. And I think I would imagine that brewmasters like that, when they come into an already existing uh, entity, and try and find that passion for it, you can probably, if you're passionate about brewing, you can ignite that passion in yourself, even if you're forcing it a little bit, if it's not the perfect fit, and you can do that for a couple of years. But eventually, if you're not really sincerely passionate about this specific brewery that you are tied in 100%, you're 100% in, that passion is gonna fall off eventually, right? So what you got to look for is someone that believes in the product, believes in what you guys are trying to do the whole way. Because I heard that even again when you're talking about Oilers Nation, the type of people they are, right? Every step of the way, if you guys find the right type of people, I think that's going to be the key to whether it's a bar, whether it's a new brewmaster, it's just it's that same key of finding that people with that same passion, that same spirit of what Dog Island is, and hooking up with those kind of guys, because that's where you see, things take off. I bet you if you would have found an advertising place that wasn't Oilers Nation, and you didn't have that passion, didn't understand what you guys were going for, it wouldn't have been as successful as it was, right? And I think that's super key to anything that is done with love and passion. You have to keep those people the same way the whole time, and that's what you need to bring in. But I think also that's something that is a cool way that you guys can experiment and see how much you like all these other pieces of you guys know you enjoy the brewing part. That seems pretty clear, but maybe the business side is just as passionate for you guys, and that's where you guys do want to maybe branch into. But you can always try it a little bit, see if you enjoy it, and then go back to brewing too if it isn't what it is, or if it is more, maybe then you can get a brewmaster. It's so nice that now you guys have got through that first really rough patch to where you are being successful, and now you have that freedom to get a little experimental and try and see where it fits in. It's a nice place to be, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%. And you're right, like about, yeah, do you dabble more into the business, and do you dabble more into the sales even yourself as
Yeah.
as the owner? Do you go out and I mean, it's a big world, man. There's a lot of breweries that import or export, I should say, into other countries, big markets like China and Korea
Yeah.
and Japan, like all these places you wouldn't really think of. But man, do you hop on a plane and go meet up with these
Yeah.
importers and be like, here's six of our, or four even, let's say, of our core
Mhm.
beers. Would you
What do you
bring
think?
these in? And then like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we bring these in, but the logistics of it too, it's like, fuck, you're loading these kids up essentially on a boat,
Yeah.
and how long does this boat take to get there?
Right.
Is your beer going to be, if it's not, you'd hope it's cold storage, but if it's not, is the beer still going to be good enough
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
serve there?
Yeah. And serve at the standard that you want it served at too, because once it's kind of on
Exactly.
that boat, you don't know what kind of
Oh,
gets there. That's
yeah, you're so far away. So
Mhm.
do you go there and spend the time and really push the product and ensure that
Right.
someone there is taking care of you and taking care of your product?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, man, it's a whole nother level of
Yeah.
business. And you're
Yeah.
right. Like you that it's kind of intriguing. Do you
Yeah.
dabble
It's
in that?
it's exciting,
You're
right?
just that baller that's on a plane doing fucking
Yeah.
business trips first class, and
Yeah.
you're sending. Yeah, I don't know. It's fuck. I never thought of it till now. I'm getting excited about it. It's
Exactly.
pretty
The
crazy. So
opportunities are endless, really, what you guys could do. And I think that's what's so exciting too, when you have something that you bring to fruition like this, and then the world is your oyster. You can take it a million different ways, right?
yeah,
Into across Canada, into the States, over the
yeah,
pond, right? A million different ways you can go in a million different ways. And the nice thing is, any which one of those ways you guys go, if you still have that passion for it, you're going to enjoy it and you're going to have fun and it's going to be successful, right? And that's what I love about seeing things like that. If you guys have grown it to the place that you've grown it now, whatever way you guys go, you're going to be successful, right? That passion carries through, and I firmly believe that people that can follow their passion and prove to themselves that to through all these barriers, like you said, and sleepless nights, and if you can push through that, you realize you can push through anything, and you'll get it. Whatever you guys put your sights on, I'm sure you guys will fucking kick ass at it and get it right there, right? If getting it into Japan's your goal, I'm sure you guys would do it, right? If that's really what you guys want. And I think that's what's so special, and that's what people need to see. And I think that's a good message for other people to see is, if you do have a passion for that, and you want to, and you're willing to put in the time and the grind, you can do anything. You can get it to whatever part you want, right? For me with this podcast, right, it's kind of just a thing I threw together with nothing, but I'm passionate about it, and I feel like if I can get through that grind and get it kind of off the ground, I can take it wherever I want and I can grow it into something. I think that's a cool mindset to have. And watching guys like you take that, it's inspiring for a guy like me to see that, holy fuck, guys from my hometown took something that they were passionate about and blew it up into this huge thing. Fuck, I could do that same thing, and I think that's cool for Slave Lake. Slave Lake's had a lot of success stories and a lot of cool people.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But it's always, for me at least, it's for the most part, it's always kind of been in that one lane. You can start an oil and gas business, whatever, right piece of that, and you can grow it to this point. And if you keep working those long hours, you'll get there. But there's not as many examples of people chasing a passion or a dream, and I think that's what's really cool, especially when it's something like that where not only is it your dream, but it's Slave Lake's dream. Dog Island is so much Slave Lake, and Slave Lake is so much Dog Island that you get to see. It's almost a whole town's dreams being realized when you guys do that, and I think that is so special. I think that's going to go a long way for just generations. I think we might get a little hippy dippy on that side, but I think that's going to be kids coming up and seeing that. It's awesome to think. And I mean, maybe you don't realize it now, but probably in 5-10 years you'll start to see the fruits of that. Maybe there's a couple local brewers that are in Roland Michener right now that you might have some competition.
You never know, but
if you have somewhere you can see and you can see something you can attain to, it's a really big piece, and I think it's oftentimes overlooked just how powerful that piece is.
Yeah, you're right. And I think when you think about it now, okay, you have these kids come up and they start brewing, it's like you really got to be open-minded and don't take it as a negative competition. It's more of a positive competition to ensure that you guys are still creating quality products, new products, keeping your atmosphere, but also encouraging them to expand and do their thing and become what we become. And you're right about Slave Lake was so simple-minded, I guess, in the oil field aspect of you start out young, you make wicked money, you get married, you have kids and all that stuff. But man, I've never lived anywhere else, and I wish I did, because I will at one point in my life, but it's kind of a bubble here, and there's so many different stuff, different jobs, different careers, different paths a guy can take. So encouraging people to get out and do something different, like yourself, right, with the podcast. Like, man, it is really wherever you want to take it, and if you have the drive, and I mean, you're just going to grow. You'll get new people, you get different people, you'll have some bummer ones, I'm sure, but you'll also have some great ones that really entice people to come back and listen to it. And it's like anything, right? It's, you have the passion, you hear it from everyone, right? If you really work hard at it, you'll succeed. And it's so true. And you see it everywhere now. It's crazy.
And it's everything's a skill too, right? Everyone thinks you're just gonna hop into something and be good at it, right? You guys had some sour batches. I'm sure I'm gonna have some fucking sour batches in my own.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hot thinkers, right? And that's kind of what I'm at right now, is just trying to get as many people on. Still trying to keep a certain level of quality in people that I'm interested in. But as long as I'm interested, I'm not really concerned about how it goes right now. I just want to get better and get used to this, get more comfortable, because fuck, the first couple, man, I was just full sweat waiting for the walk. Lose my mind, and I'm still getting nervous before him, but a little less, and it's nice when it's a guy like you that I know, and it's not as high pressure. But even still, I'm sure the same thing is gonna come in as soon as I get my first big guest that is not one of my buddies, and it's gonna be actually someone that I'm gonna be right back to that same fucking sweat drenched.
Oh yeah, you're doing good though, man. You carry it well. You carry well. It's nice, because even when I came on, I actually listened to some of your podcasts before your episode 3 with your sister there. So I just kind of wanted to get a feel for how you were and how you're asking, because I think that's important to research before you do stuff. So I was fucking nervous before I even got on. I'm pretty chill. So after a while, you carry on, the conversation just carries, right? But it's gonna be interesting, man. How do you get Connor McDavid on here?
Well, you keep grinding, pretty much.
It's a grind, right?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Chad. I'm gonna get Connor McDavid on this podcast.
Yeah, I hope you do.
Maybe not right now. Maybe not for a couple of years. Yeah. But hey, who knows? Maybe it is in a couple of years. But
maybe if it is just for 5-10 minutes, just quick shout out,
exactly,
or start out with Cassian or someone that just kind of you know what I mean,
someone I can connect with a little more, grow my chops out, and fucking
wear your fucking Cassian shirts and all that stuff. But no, man,
that is one of my goals. I have a certain amount of people that are big goals in different areas, and Connor McDavid is definitely my one for the hockey world. He's definitely the one that I want, right? But that starts with just showing the hockey community that you can give a good hockey interview, right? So I already have that in the works of,
For
certain
sure,
guys
yeah.
that maybe aren't NHL players, but there's a lot of local
Oh yeah,
Slave Lake boys that would played some pretty high level hockey that I plan to reach out to and talk to.
yeah,
And there's a couple old boys that played a couple games in the show in GP that I've reached out to, and you just start off small and you have these guys that can tell a couple hockey stories. You can prove that you can talk
yeah,
hockey, and you know at least a little bit to get in the door, and then you get some bigger guys on, and if you can do well and you can succeed, right? But that's
yeah.
where I'm seeing this is right now. It doesn't matter who it is or what kind of domain it is, because I'm just getting better at it. And if I can do podcasts on, the one I did yesterday was on kind of like the Hong Kong riots and
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing, right? And then this one on brewing, and then just a buddies talking sports. You get better in all these areas, but you're just getting more comfortable on mic, more comfortable talking to someone, more comfortable,
yeah.
asking questions, doing that research. But so then by the time you do get a Connor McDavid, or maybe it's not, maybe it's a big author that I like, whatever
Oh,
it
for
is,
sure, yeah.
you're ready for it. And I'm sure the first couple might come up and I'm not ready for it, but hey, that's how you learn. You're going to learn. You learn more from failures than you do successes, right?
You're right, exactly. And I mean, everyone has a story. Like everyone has, some are obviously more interesting than others. And like, fuck, hell, get Rachel Notley on here and ask a politician how fucking shitty it is. Like, oh man, like there's so many interesting people, man. Like people in the public eye, people, just like I said, everyone has a story. Everyone has their own experiences, and like when you bring them out in here, it doesn't matter who they are. It's going to be entertaining for sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. If you can build, if I can build that skill to bring that out of every people, it doesn't matter who you have on, because like you say, everybody's got a story. If you can find it and you can pull it out of them, everybody has a story, and then you don't need those huge guests. It's great if you can get them, because obviously it's going to be good for the podcast, good for me. It'd be cool to talk to some cool people, but if you can grow that skill to a certain point, it shouldn't matter who you have on. You could have on, I could pull somebody off the street, pull them in here, and everybody's going to have a story, like you say. So I think that's also exciting too. Plus, I enjoy it. I fucking love this shit, and
it's cool. I like it too. It's neat.
It's fun to do, and
it's fun. Yeah. You always gotta. Sorry, cut you off there. Go. Oh, you always wonder, like, it's like when you're singing in the car and the music cuts out and you hear your voice. You're always like, "Fuck, I sound brutal."
Oh man, fuck. So the first one I did, I had to. I fucked up the audio real bad. I was recording it with my sister first time, super nervous. Like if you listen to episode 1, like the first 20 minutes, you can hear it in my voice. I'm catching, like I can barely, when you're almost hyperventilating. So the audio was fucked. So I had to edit a whole bunch. I had to do like hours and hours of edit, but just listening to your own voice and getting used to that was fucking terrible. Just like, you sound like just
it's shitty.
I know, and I'm hard on it. So now I just have a little group of people that I send the audio to first. Okay, you guys listen to it, tell me if there's anywhere where it fucks up. Is the audio bad anywhere? And I'll go in and just edit the small. I try to listen to myself talk as little as possible, and then you second guess. You go, oh fuck, I sound because you're always harder on yourself too, right?
Yeah, so we're our own worst critics, man.
Exactly. So I always try and commit as little time to listen to myself talk as I can, and just. But then fuck, then you're worried. Fuck, dude, did I just talk about this on the last one? I just don't remember. You can't worry about that. You just gotta go.
Exactly. Because you start adding into that, and it's not you. It's this is how I sound. It's if you were to have a conversation at a wherever bar, it'd be this is what am I? This is who I am, right? So.
And I find so much because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm really passionate about just the format in general. But you can definitely hear the guys that are trying to put on, a facade when they're trying to be on here and trying to talk a different way. You can tell it's not how they talk at a bar. Right? And that goes the wrong way. You never connect with those. You turn those off immediately. You can tell it's like, oh, this guy's bullshit. And you can hear the guys that are actually talking how they normally would. They're not putting on a show, and those are the ones that are good that you can actually get into and listen to, right? So I'm trying to keep that as much as I can. Keep a little bit of that Slave Lake spirit.
Oh yeah. You're doing good. Well, like you said, you can get some old boys and hear some old stories of anything. It's you have such a broad spectrum of like who you could and what you could talk about, which is pretty cool because, like you said, if you have the passion, it seems like you really do, and you have that energy that you want to talk to, and that. So you're gonna do good. It'll be good.
Yeah. And what's cool is, you have one guy on and then everybody knows 10 more guys. Oh, you had him. Oh, no, who else would be good?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's like, it's tough. I have a big list of kind of guests because before I even started, I kind of had my first list of guys that I knew I'd have on right away. The ones that I knew would probably say yes and kind of had that. But it's just growing rapidly now. The other day, someone came out to me and just said, oh, I was listening to this podcast with this guy who's super interesting. And he said maybe he'd be open to doing more of these. So I reached out to him after, got his information, emailed him, and he's waiting for your email. Reach out to him if you like it. And I was like, holy fuck, he just did all the work for me.
Cool.
Did all the legwork, and it's like, fuck, that's awesome. So I'm just, and that just gets even more fired up because
Yeah.
I'm already excited for this. But now you start to see things starting to,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I said earlier, if you're passionate about it, things will fall into place. It's nice to start seeing that happen already because I've only been doing it for 2-3 weeks now, and little things. It's not huge things falling from the sky, but those little pieces are starting to come together, and you can just tell, okay, maybe I am on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. Keep grinding, keep at it, make sure I'm still booking lots, because booking fucking sucks. It's so embarrassing to reach out to someone and ask them to come on your fucking pocket. Oh, I hate it, man.
It's tough. Even today, I was just like, I'm tired. Kids are in bed at 7. I'm like, fuck, why did I say yes? It's not that I didn't want to. I'm just like, I'm just being fucking lazy. I'm being a bum. I just had a day. 100%. So, but then
even if you're not, though, you're still asking for 2-3 hours of a person's day, and I value my time so highly.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah,
right? That's why I'm always so, whatever time you want, I'll move around. Sure. You want to do it at 3 in the morning, I'll do it at 3 in the morning, because I'm so glad that people are willing to give me their time. But it's so fucking embarrassing to ask. I feel like I have a cap. I can only ask 2 people a day, because anything you put so much of yourself out there, just like taking that jump. Will you come on with pie? It's so fucking embarrassing, right? And I think for the most part, people are more willing, and it is a little flattering, but it never feels that way being on this end of it, trying to ask people. Fuck these guys.
You're right. You hate to stare people, because you're right. It's like, I'm gonna be chatting for an hour at least, probably, and it's like, are you willing to give up that time? Are you? It's a good day, and it's. But I was happy, like, when you're like, go grab a drink, and I didn't think about it. I'm like, I need a fucking drink in my hand, just to kind of relax. Because right now, I'd probably be just watching TV anyway. So why not just watch you or your ugly mug and
exactly.
talk to you a little bit. Right? Exactly. We can't edit that out.
No shit. But it's not even on video yet, so we can get away. That's why I'm wearing a fucking wife beater right now.
I was gonna say Escobar.
There you go. This is from. I did a trip here before I got the job in GP here. We did I found out about this job opportunity. I think it was started June maybe mid-June. Booked a trip for the month of, started like August 1st to August 30th or whatever. A whole month of August I was going to go over to Europe and, party it up and kind of live life before coming here, because I knew we wouldn't have much time to travel after. Yeah. So I booked the trip, came to GP, looked at a bunch of houses, found the house I wanted, signed for the house the day I left for Europe, went across all around Europe anyways, but I ended up in the island of Ios, I believe this shirt was from, and it's this little island in Greece, and you kind of live in the town, but then there's all these little bars up in the mountain, like in the mountainside, and they take you a bus and you go to this first bar, and it's just got games everywhere, like giant Jenga, darts, beer pong everywhere, and everyone starts there, and then you just do this tour of all these bars, and they all have like a certain, like, it's drink 5 shots while wearing a funky hat, or take 5 shots that are on fire, or one bar is and then you win a shirt every time if you do this challenge. For every bar has it involves taking 3 to 5 shots with some sort of wacky twist on it. So we get to this one bar, and first couple guys in there, I was second in line, and 2 of my buddies went up first, and he's like, oh, what's the challenge? Because we were just grabbing shirts. Everyone's wearing like 6 shirts, right? At the end of the night, we're all pretty half cut at this point. And they had no idea what the gimmick was for this bar. It was called the Slammer Bar.
Oh, yeah.
So they get up, the 2 of them. He puts 2, like those old school go-kart helmets, no face, but just the bucket. Puts 2 buckets on these kids. They look at each other, these 2 Aussie kids, real fun guys. Yeah. And so they take the first shot, and he pulls a fire extinguisher out and cracks them both in the head. Then they take the second shot, he grabs their heads, smashes them together. Take the third shot, he pulls out a skateboard, and this guy just has the hole behind his bar is just shit to hit people in the head with. So like that's their gimmick. You take a shot and get smashed in the head with something, and they're fucking cranking you, dude. Like they are not doing that. It was so much fucking fun. Oh, I love that trip. It was so awesome. So so that's what I got this one. This is the Pablo Escobar. I think it only opened at like 3 a.m. and like fucking sick, man.
Fuck, I wish I would have done that. I wish when I was younger I would have went to Europe and did those tiki, was it tiki or
Kentucky, that's exactly what it
Kentucky?
was.
Yeah, like my buddy did it. He said it was cool.
True.
He just meet so many rad people in that, but my life ended up okay, right? It's everyone follows their own path, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
you can't really have regrets. It's shit you can still do after, but
Exactly.
I got young
But
kids, so I'll wait till they're a little older, and then Mama and
take
I
them
can
with you.
go. Nah, fuck that. They can stay home. I need some alone time with my wife and
no
go
shit.
back to the roots, right? Just like our honeymoon days, chase around the
There you
beach.
go.
So yeah, it's that's cool, man. I'm glad you got to travel and do all that shit. And GP's obviously working out for you.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's been pretty good. A little slow lately, but I think definitely starting this podcast is a definite increase. Makes it a little happier, you know. Especially with COVID, you can't go out and do much, right? So you're kind of locked in. You know, you go outside and go for your run and go to work, and that's pretty much your activity for the day, right? So I think doing this and finally getting to reach out, have some more conversations with people has really put a big spin on it, making me a lot happier here, and I think enjoying it more.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's the main thing, right? Keep happy, keep doing something you like. It is kind of a weird time for everyone. It's you don't really know what to expect because it's seems like we're going back to normal and bam, fucking 1,000 cases and everyone's dying. So it's like, well, fuck, man. Like yesterday, everyone was fine. Like, what the heck? Like,
what has changed?
Yeah, even for like at the brewery, man, it's people call and be like, "Are you guys, COVID distancing?" And I'm like, "Well, we have the no more than 6 people per table. They're spaced out accordingly. We kind of have that shield in the front. So I mean, like, what else do you want us to do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is what we've done. Are you comfortable at that? And that's what it turns into at a certain point. Is we've put these protocols in place. Is that enough to make you comfortable, right? And at the end of the day, that's up to the customer.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. If you don't feel comfortable, we're sorry. Try us again when this is over, whenever that is.
But I think that beer is too good. People,
take a little extra risk to get that. Grab a 4-pack on your way out. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about those, like you say, the Budweisers and the Bud Light, all those big brands, is their recipe or whatever? Is it public knowledge of kind of how they do it? Could you go on your system and brew like a Budweiser or a Bud Light? And have you ever tried?
Yeah, we kind of did like a run of the mill lager recipe originally, and it was kind of like we called it something else, but yeah, it was a light lager and it was good. I don't think their actual recipes are public knowledge. I think you can go online and find Bud Light clone recipes that are close, but I mean, those guys aren't going to tell you the recipe.
No,
like,
I wouldn't think so, but I would just imagine
no one would.
20, some of those big ones probably had it leaked somewhere. Someone from the factory let it slip.
I would assume so too, but hard to say. I don't know how they all work. Maybe they have one room where the one guy knows how to put everything in, and everyone else is just like the pawns. They just do all the work. So I don't know. And like with those big beers, like they have so much money and buying power that I think their systems are probably state of the art. They got to be, right. They're massive. They're doing like consistently probably fucking 20 times the size of our shit, right?
No shit.
On a brew. So yeah, I don't know. It's we've seen some big brewery setups. Yeah, and it's impressive. Like it is an operation. And
what are some of the most impressive? Maybe not on that grand scale of the big boys, but maybe a couple steps down. What's the most impressive one you've seen around in your travels?
We went to Red Truck in Vancouver, and fuck me, that place, man, it was nuts. Like it was just a huge building that was all stainless tanks and brews and lights, and it was just like, wow, what an operation. And like we were just in the tap room that had all the glass windows and behind the bar, and it was cool. They had like Vancouver's rad. Like they have so much cool shit there. They had a sea can in the tap room, and that was like the kitchen, so they was like slinging out hot dogs and wicked food, and we're crushing, and the beers are good. Like their Red Truck has some good beers. They're probably one of the bigger players in Vancouver. Like I would say probably Western Canada. They're they're bigger than us, like way bigger. Other than that, I haven't really been, like I've never been to a Molson or Labatt place. I don't know if they do tours or anything there,
Oh,
but
right. I think they do. I remember
yeah.
when I was in university, that was a big event to get a bunch of people from university to go
Oh
to a
yeah,
big brewery tour
that's
of
cool.
the Bats one. I think maybe
Yeah,
I'm misremembering that, but I think that was.
yeah. Red Truck. Yeah, Red Truck was the biggest one I've been to. Probably the nicest one I've been to though would have been 33 Acres and 33 Experimental in Vancouver.
Okay, that's
Was
in Vancouver too.
was gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
apps, the not a big building, but just the atmosphere, the
Mhm.
cleaning. It was just clean. It
Yeah.
was
Attention to
beautiful.
detail.
It was so nice. So
Yeah.
that was like a fucking treat. Ben and I went on
Mhm.
like a brewery tour in Vancouver for like, okay, I think it was 3 or 4 days, and it was the biggest drunk fest I've ever done. Where we
You
walked and
remember the first
trained
2 a day?
everywhere. We had probably 8 breweries a day.
Holy shit.
Yeah, his cousin actually lives there, and he he sells coffee and does like something with the movie sets in Vancouver. So he's
Okay.
actually like met like a lot of like crazy stars like Will Smith and all them and that.
Oh
But
shit.
fuck, he was like our own personal tour guide. He just drove us around
Right.
all these breweries and we just fucking drank the whole time. But yeah, you go from we don't have that. I think Calgary more so,
Mhm.
but the beer scene like in Vancouver is off the. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It just
We
people love it
go
there,
ahead.
right? It's
Yeah.
it's Vancouver.
It's the
Everyone wants.
atmosphere and
It's kind of a bubble there. People that are from there don't really need to leave because it's like, well, we're in Vancouver. It's
Mhm.
the weather's
What else could
nice.
you need?
What else could you need exactly? So yeah,
Yeah, we uh, we went and saw a brewery in Ontario, not in Niagara Falls, but in that general area around there. I think it was called Bench Brewery or something, maybe something
yeah,
like that, and it was beautiful. And they
really.
had such good food. But then they had this is kind of where I'm going with this is they had a whole separate side for that was completely like air sealed off. Like we had to go through like an airlock to get in there. I think it was like a
Mm.
sour side or something. Have you ever
Oh
heard of
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so what is that different? So what are they doing there? Because
So,
we had no
spe-
cultures on us or whatever, so it didn't
yeah.
work there.
So if you're doing like wild fermentations, that they're taking like yeast from the air,
Oh, right, yeah.
but you wanna have like a controlled area where you're not just bringing in random
Mhm. Shit on
fucking
your shoes and
yeah, whatever. You're just walking through the swamps and you're bringing that gross yeast cultures in there. You want like a controlled, healthy yeast
mhm,
in that room in that building. I don't know exactly. Uh,
how it works.
it's like that. I don't want to sound dumb because I don't know 100%, but
Yeah,
I know it is along those lines.
yeah,
Um, if
that's cool.
I don't know if they actually introduce like some yeast into it or it just strictly
Yeah,
throughout the air,
go through there.
but
Yeah.
they do like to control it. And
Mhm,
same as souring, when you're doing sours and barrels, basically souring a beer is they take like that same stuff, like sour cream as it's called like lactobacillosis, whatever.
mhm.
You put it in your beer at a certain temperature, and it'll lower your pH. And then once it gets to a certain point, like 3.2, you actually boil it and kill the lacto, and then it's you basically finish your beer like a normal beer. You can dry hop it, you can fruit it or whatever, but it's a way longer they call it kettle sour. So you do everything in your boil kettle, but
Yeah.
it's a long process. We did our first kettle sour. It's like a month ago now. That's at Tongue
Oh
Punch,
yeah.
and it took like fucking 3 days because our pH would not come down. It
Oh
was
yeah.
so brutal. And then finally, 3.2,
Yeah.
we're like, oh my God, 3 days of fucking brew.
Hallelujah.
Just sat there, just sat at a certain temp, maintained temp, and we just had to let the lacto do its thing. Like
Mhm.
you can't speed it up. There's no way to really, yeah, it's a process. So the guys that do like the wild fermentation and barrels, now it's cool. It's a neat. We definitely want to get into it more, um, but you need the space. You need the
Yeah.
a lot of these guys do it in like foeders. They're like the big wood tanks,
Oh yeah.
or fooder, however you say it. But a lot of guys will do some pretty unique and interesting beers in them, and a
Yeah.
lot of them will do that controlled room because they just don't want random bacterias and all
Yeah.
that stuff getting into it.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah, it's a neat process. It's cool to see too. It is nice. It's kind of a when you go into a place and they have a nice shiny room with a big wood tank in there, just lights
Yeah.
on it. It's kind of like, oh fuck, what's in there? Like when's that going to be
Yeah.
done? And a lot of guys will age it, and it's usually a pretty interesting and sought after beer because of how long it
Yeah.
actually took to to do it, and the flavors that come out of the wood and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot to it, man. There's definitely a lot of different things, and the for us, have we created anything new? No. The guys that do are something else. Like these guys, they really are, yeah. And I guess that's maybe where that education comes, or is it just trial and error? You know, are they trying some crazy shit and seeing how it goes, and then if they make something totally crazy unique, you obviously see the trends for the beers lean more towards that new stuff, and how are we getting these yeast strains that are so unique and create these unique beers, or vice versa. Like it's such a wild thing.
Has there been any new developments that maybe lots of people haven't seen yet that's coming down the pipe of kind of like what you're talking about, pushing the limits?
I haven't seen anything lately or heard anything lately. People go in trends, like sours were big trending stuff, and then I don't even know actually. There's books that you can buy, and they tend, like the magazines tend to keep up on it, but part of that too is like I don't agree with all that, because it's like, are you just writing this article that they're trending just for something to write? Like, is it actually fucking trending? Because I don't really see it. But you tend to, in Alberta, we tend to see it more. Calgary will start something. They're kind of the first ones to kind of do something, and then they'll kind of trickle up. But we're usually on it. We like to be pretty involved. I mean, like I said, you got to keep people interested in something new, and
keep you guys interested too, and keep
exactly, yeah. If there's a new process or new yeast is such an important thing. If there's a new crazy yeast strain that just creates such a unique beer, it's kind of like, oh fuck, this is sweet. So it's wild.
So when you're brewing, do you just taste it at the end, or is there tastings like midway through to like see how it's going, and if you need to change anything up? Do you have to taste it midway through, or is it only at the end?
No, you taste it through. You do tests, so you're testing gravities and all that kind of stuff. So the gravity is basically telling you how much alcohol's in it and how your fermentation's been going. Is it fermenting properly accordingly to, like do you have enough yeast in there to actually get to what you need it to be, that 5% or 6%? So, and then usually when it's done fermenting, you'd like to do a taste just to make sure, even before carbonation, that it's good, right? So but you'll get such a different taste from tasting it at 60, like room temperature, not carbonated versus chilled and carbonated.
That's kind of right where my question was going. I was going to say, is that a skill that you had to develop, how to, at the different points where you take these tests? Is it mainly just based off like the gravities you're saying, or is it actually a lot of learning how to taste at the midway point and what that reflects at the end, and kind of learning that and how to see like what kind of notes are coming out earlier? Because I imagine if I went into it fresh and tasted a midway point beer, I'd have no idea what the fuck I was tasting or what I was looking for at all, right?
I think for us, we know how the beers are supposed to taste. But I think if you were to educate yourself as like a Cicerone or Smalley, whatever, I can't remember I think it's Cicerone, the beer guy, or the beer one. Anyways, I think if you're to educate yourself in that kind of stuff, I think it would benefit you quite a bit. Just to pick out stuff maybe that you would before, but the brewing process is pretty controlled. If you have like hot fermentations and stuff like that, you tend to have more issues, but we have like a really good control system to do that. But you never know, like maybe the power goes out and you can't get power on for fucking 4 days, and you have just a brand new beer you put in there. Like, what do you do, right? So there's definitely
you go to Max Fuels, get a nice Jenny, and get her filled up with diesel and get her started back up. That's what you do.
Pretty much, right? Yeah. Call up Drew and fucking get him to haul one over there. Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. We're, like I said, we're fortunate to have a lot of controls in place to keep the quality and the taste the same. Like I said too before, like there's variances a little bit. We might notice them. The average customer probably won't, but we have created kind of a beer snob profile in Slave Lake. A lot of our regulars kind of fucking snobby now, where they're like, oh, this what's wrong with this? Is this an old keg? And they know, right? So we're like,
Yeah,
now we got to be sharp because these fuckers call
yeah.
us out on it right now. And
Well, that's good.
it's
That'll
good.
keep you on your toes.
It is a good thing. Yeah. It's just funny because, these guys come in originally and they're buying Dibsbury because it was probably the easiest drinking beer. A lot of
Yeah,
these guys, their tastes have evolved to drinking Saints like
yeah.
consistently, like drinking an IPA and loving an IPA, that more flavorful beer. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's funny. It's even for myself. When I first started brewing, I was like all into wits, and now I fucking can't stand 'em. Like,
Yeah,
give me a nice Kolsch or Foggy Dew or New England, like a
yeah.
hazy, easy drinking IPA is so
Oh, nice.
refreshing. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's
Who
good.
comes up with all the names? I know you're probably gonna say both of you, but fuck, you guys have some wicked names for that shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, both of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it is. There's some funny ones. We kind of just
yeah,
ramble off and we'll like, oh, we got to name this beer. What are we going to call it? Some of the early names like Saints and Dibs were all kind of like
mm,
stuff. Like Dibs was just is named after Dog Island Brewing Society, so Dibsbury.
yeah,
Saints and Sinners was actually named because when we were looking for places, there was a church in town that got rezoned. Or no, there was that old bowling alley there
yeah,
got
yeah,
rezoned as a church, and we were like, "Fuck, that would have been a wicked brewery." We're just mad, so we're like, "Fuck, all there is in this town is a bunch of Saints and Sinners, churches and liquor
yeah,
stores." So
yeah.
Saints kind
Exactly.
of stuck there, and then
Oh, that's awesome.
Sandy Ass, which is kind of a funny name, tribute to the
Yeah,
beach. But going forward, like Lip Pointer, you obviously know the term behind that, and
yeah.
um, I don't know. We're
Is it?
we're pretty creative, truthfully. Like I
Yeah,
don't want to sound like
you
I'm
guys
tooting my own
are.
horn, but
Oh, you are.
we try to be like something that people can kind of chuckle at
Yeah.
or reference to town.
Hmm.
Tongue Punch was pretty funny. Like we went through
Yeah,
that whole
that's
Instagram
fucking
feed
awesome.
where we had what Tongue Punch, we had Golden Sour, and two other ones. I actually think
Yeah,
Golden Sour won, but we ended up going with Tongue Punch just for
yeah,
marketing. With the whole purpose with that was like the round one and round two as we do different variations with the hops and that. So
yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
but yeah, names. Yeah, it's a collective brainstorm, and I
Mm-hmm.
think when we say it and think about the design of that, everyone really comes together and
Mm-hmm.
agrees on it. Then, like I said,
Yeah,
Corey brings it to life, and that's usually
yeah.
the really exciting part you
When you can
get
see it.
the when you get the pencil sketch, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, you gotta really trust Corey's process, and
Mm-hmm.
then you see the finished product, and you're like, holy fuck, that's
Yeah.
killer! Can't wait to see
Oh,
this
that's
on a can,
awesome.
right? So
Yeah, yeah. But again, it kind of goes back to that attention to detail, right? You're not taking any shortcuts at any point. Not on the labels, not on the names, not on any of those, right? You're taking it to the nth degree, and you have a certain status or a certain level that everything needs to be. And I think that's what makes it so awesome all around, right? It's not any one of those little things, but all when you put it all together, it's awesome. It just makes
yeah,
it for a fucking wicked experience.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's important to have marketing presence too, like on the shelf,
mhm.
because just like wine, you label buy. So
Yeah,
if someone's not sure and they see a cool label, then they're like, oh
yeah,
fuck, we'll try it out. And you hope obviously that the product is good, as good as
mhm.
the label, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, and
yeah,
and that's a nice thing too. I think a lot of times with inferior products, they hide behind fancy labels and cool labels. But with you guys, you make such fucking good beers with such dope packaging. Like it's got the whole package. You might catch that guy that just grabs it for the label, but he's staying for
yeah,
the actual product,
yeah.
right?
You
You have
hope,
that
you really do.
confidence.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That is the end goal, and you really hope it
mhm,
does, and I think it does for a lot of people.
for sure.
So yeah, it's good. It's labels are they're a fun
Mhm.
part of it for sure. You
Yeah,
kind of got to see different, and we can go wherever we want with them, right?
yeah. How did that partnership with Oilers Nation? How did that even come to fruition? How did that all come together? Didn't even kind of just seem
Um,
like for me being on the outside just kind of popped up, but I imagine there's been
yeah, it
big.
was kind of random for us too because I know so the Oilers Nation originally had the Nation beer with Polar Park,
Okay,
and I think they ran into a bunch of issues because Polar Park couldn't keep up, and they were brewing at different locations. So I don't think it was like a consistent product.
right.
If there's any Polar Park people listening, don't take. I'm not trying to shit all you guys because I know it's like when
It's tough.
when you don't have a big enough system, because we're finding it now that it does sell crazy, and um, we're can't keep up kind of thing too. So I think
Yeah,
it was for them, it was the same thing, and
yeah,
they're trying to brew it and all this stuff, and they just can't, and it just I don't know. We don't know the whole story because it's
yeah, 100%,
you hear both sides, but it's like
for
who's right,
sure.
who's wrong, right? We don't even
Yeah.
want to get into it. So, anyways, that fell through. So they kind of didn't really talk about it or anything for a while. Then Jared, he started up there, and they said they should get back into the beer.
Hmm.
And he used to own Nexource Power, or one of the owners, I think, or
Right.
own shares in it. So he actually sold out, and then he became the marketing guy for Oilers Nation, and
Hmm.
he married a lady from Slave Lake.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it's kind of that connection. I think she was the one that kind of was like, well, I know these guys at Dog Island, they make good beer. You should reach out to them. So
Yeah.
it kind of worked out. Jared reached out to us, and then we were intrigued. I think I was more so than ever. I think Ben was definitely more skeptical and
Hmm.
business conscious about it, which was good because
Yeah, you need
in
both
the
sides for sure.
you do, yeah, it's good.
Mhm.
That's the nice thing about Ben and I. We both kind of feed off each other. So
Yeah.
they proposed an offer, and we didn't really like it at the time. So Ben kind of came back and said like, "Hey, this is what we want," and this is kind of like after because we even reached out to Polar Park and just kind of asked them like
Mhm.
why this didn't go wrong. We kind of heard their
Mhm.
story, but at the same time, we're like, well, I think there was mistakes on the contract part where we can correct that and make it
Yeah.
work for us and
Make it
them.
work for everyone.
So we did change it, and it kind of showed us too that these guys were ready to play ball. Like they were
Mhm.
ready to. They didn't really care as long as they were just getting product consistently.
Right.
And we were like, oh, okay. And I kind of had this recipe already built up for a lager that I was going to pump out and kind of
Mhm.
push for some other stuff. So the
Found
problem
a nice
was the loggers were 6 weeks and ales are like
Mhm.
2. So when we actually agreed on the contract, it was like, Kate, what are we making? And they tried the beer, the lager, and they liked it. But they're like, well, fuck. This is before COVID because we were already
Mhm.
talking about getting it ready for playoffs, essentially.
Right.
And we're like, well, fuck, we can do an ale. So we ended up taking that lager recipe and doing a coal schist on it, and that brought it back to the 2 week period. And we weren't sure, so we did a little batch, and then the guys tried it, and they're like, "Fuck, this is good, really
Yeah.
good. It's exactly what we want." So, with that next day, we brewed a big batch, and then
Mhm.
it's kind of snowballed from there. So, it's been a
Yeah.
good partnership. It's
Yeah. It's
honestly, it really
awesome.
has. Jared's been great. Like I said, Jay's been great, and
Mhm.
we just kind of we weren't really sure how much of a fan base they had, and fuck, I was actually now
It's
I'm blown
big.
away.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
big, yeah, and
Yeah.
they have a fucking a loyal following, and
Yeah, and they do good work, and that's just another example of people following their passion that shines through, right? When you can tell that someone
yeah,
loves them so much, you can feel it in whatever they do, and I think that's just another example. And when you match up two of those companies like yours and theirs, it's a
yeah,
match made in heaven. You can just you
yeah.
take an offer underneath from there. No, that's
I
awesome.
really, I really think too. Like, it's not even the beer part of it that we could do a lot of things. I think together with those guys
For sure.
because I think you could feed off the whole sports thing with them
Hmm.
and get into other. I think the whole nation brand is it could grow into something
Yeah.
pretty big. So, yeah, it's been good. Like I said, we were kind of skeptical, but I think it's been a really, really good step. It was a nerve
Yeah, it's
wracking
awesome.
decision,
I
but
bet. I bet.
I think it's worked out now, and we're
Yeah.
happy for it. So I think
Yeah.
they are too, honestly.
Oh, for sure. And I think it's just it's just the beginning, and then like you say, playoffs and that excitement that's coming around the corner and just what that's going to take off with, and it's just the beginning. I think that's going to be a really good partnership. I think just from the outside looking in, it seems like it's a match made in heaven. It's just ready to take off, skyrocket. Another nice piece of that too is you guys both do such nice merch. You could fucking
Hmm.
do some nice collabs there,
Yeah,
get some good
yeah, we've
shit
done a
going
couple
there.
of ones. Yeah, this very moderate stuff on the back of
Yeah,
our logo and
yeah,
that, but it is cool to do, and it's kind of nice to see some of their suppliers versus some of
yeah,
ours. Because I do
yeah.
think we have a really good supplier of our shirts and sweaters and
Mhm.
all that stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, like you said, you do partnerships with cool people like that. It kind of feeds you and gets you interested in it again and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So
relights all those fires again, and that's what's so nice about a process like that. You get those that the fire never goes out, but it just gets, from time to time some gas gets thrown on it. It's just like day one again. It's fresh and it's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. You don't want stuff to get stagnant. We just kind of like go through the motions. So you do little things like this that kind of spice it up a little bit again. You're just new stuff, partners, new people, and new faces. And you kind of look forward to the next one.
Much on those big leaps, you learn so much going forward to your next one, right? Just about you guys are getting really good at brewing the beer, but you're gonna be leveling up on that business side too of how you schedule these deals, and then maybe it's a different kind, maybe it's them, maybe it's the next contract where you're going to be just that much better on that side too, and that's just awesome to see. So nice to see someone else kind of making that journey and learning those things and kicking ass. It's fucking awesome, man. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good to it's a wild ride. It's fun, just like you're gonna be on too.
Yeah. Just getting started. No, for sure. I'll have maybe one day we'll be doing a VonDubCast brew. A fucking nice collab there.
That's a good idea. I never even thought of that. Why not? We could do some fancy labels. It'd be funny. Max Fuels colors and everything.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get the beef on there.
Yeah.
Get all the branding all around. Fucking rights.
Be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, that's that was awesome. I think that's all the questions I kind of had for any last things that you wanted to get out there. Anything we missed, do you think?
No, I don't think so, man. I think we covered everything. I don't even know. Yeah, we just talked, man. It was good. It was good.
I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah,
it was good. I had a good time.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and see you next week.
All right. Thanks for everybody for sticking around right to the end here. I can't say thank you enough. This process has been really special to me, and I'm really enjoying every step of the way, and I'm really trying to get better. I know some of the audio quality and some of those things aren't the best so far, but I'm working on it, and you can only do so much when you're working over Zoom and with what people have, but I'm really happy that people are enjoying the content, and that's what I'm really trying to work on. I know the audio is not going to be perfect. I'm just learning that stuff, but I'm just hoping that the content connects with people, and that's what I'm really proud of, and I hope that is what's connecting with you guys. So like I said, thank you guys all for listening. I never would have expected to be able to do something like this, and I'm so glad that you guys are the ones that allow me to do it. So thank you again. And like I said, if there's any constructive feedback or anything you want to offer, any ideas you have to send my way, send those to VonDubCast@gmail.com, or however you can figure out to get a hold of me. That's good too. See you later.